And what is going on, everybody? Welcome back. It is Friday night, 9 p.m., and you're here with the Average Boys podcast. I am here, ChrisP, your host, with his other host, co-host, however you want to say it, my boy Trigger. Trigger, how are you?
What's going on, dude?
What is up, man? Tell me about everything that's been going on this week in your life. I want to know everything. You're getting married next week. I'm super excited.
I am, dude. So
What did you get?
It's been a rough week, man. I've just been all over the place this week.
Yeah.
With work and then with the wedding and just oh my god, man. No, it has been a fucking shit show this week. And I'm just so blessed that now it's Friday. I get to have a drink. I get to talk my stuff with my co-host. I'm on another, I'm here again, another successful show. I'm doing all right now. Today was a much better day. Yesterday was a pretty good day. I got to catch up on everything that I had missed. Today kind of got a little bit slammed again, which is fine. But I had to leave early because my where I work, they're like really, really big on like making sure that like you don't go past your hours and stuff like that. So, I kind of had to, leave a little bit early today. But I mean, it's fine, dude. I slept, like me and Andre, we took like a badass nap, got up not too long ago, started eating. So I am in bed. I am drinking and I am having an amazing Friday.
Hey, man, that sounds really, really good. It was a pretty chilled week for me, dude. Nothing too crazy. My sleep schedule's been a little off. I had like a little gout pressure. I get gout sometimes. I don't know what it was. Actually, what hit me really crazy was I took a dissolvable vitamin C tablet. I've been trying to take my vitamins in so that way, I maintain myself from getting sick. I think that's the best thing that everybody's doing. And vitamin C is always really well, including the vitamin D from the sun. Those are good things that help fight off the Rona. And I took a dissolvable tablet and I wasn't paying attention. And some of the ingredients inside the tablet go against people with gout, and it caught me by surprise. Kind of threw me for a loop all week, man. It was pretty crazy, but dealt with it. Didn't have to take any medications or get any cortisone shots or steroid shots. Dealt with it on my own, broke it down, back to walking the next day. Went back, taught my dudes at the gym. Had a pretty solid week, dude. We're just working with the guys, man. What's up, Ozzy? How you doing, my dude? Good luck doing good on the streams, brother. Doing good on the streams. Other than that, it was a pretty chill week, man. Thanks, Rob. Thank you very much, man. It was the gout stuff is always pretty painful. It's an ugly kind of pain, but I'm a tough dude. So I just had to deal with it the way I need to deal with it. But
yeah, man, I just punch kids.
Punch kids. Boom, boom. Yeah, dude. Like Anakin Skywalker, boy.
Yeah, dude.
Anakin Skywalker. Yeah, man. Other than that, it's been a pretty basic.
Dude, you know what? Next time you get mad at your students, be like, you know what? It's order 66 up in this month.
Oh yeah, order 66 time. Everybody get your gear on, kids. Beat the shit out of the kids all the way. The parents like, what are you doing?
Order Shut 66. Up. You want to get in here?
I look at them and just be like, order 66, dude. And they'll be like, oh, okay. I understand. Everyone's Star Wars fans. Yeah, man. It was pretty cool. Just some good old fashioned, regular, good stuff. Actually, someone we were talking about last week, Ashaniko, released another video. So she has another video up. It's pretty solid. She's really getting a lot of publicity nowadays, which is really good. I forgot what it's called, but it deals with pirates and it doesn't make sense with the song, but
deal with it.
Yeah, deal with it. There you go. Nonetheless, it's still a great song. Good banger, man. Good banger. I still kind of prefer her older stuff, but the newer stuff.
Dude, this Hatsune Miku one is my shit.
The one with the Vocaloid.
Yeah, dude. I don't know why, dude, but this Hatsune Miku one is my shit.
It's a banger, dude. It's a real good banger. Attack on Titan. I think we've talked about Attack on Titan last week. It really didn't do anything Actually, you know what? I take that back. The new episode of Attack on Titan came back, which is called A Declaration of War.
Is that where he finally makes the rumbling happen, or
no? This is where he it's almost like a political assassination. Like he's about to okay, so the story of Attack on Titans is very convoluted. It jumps around a lot. But what the original concept was in the very beginning, it was a group of people who hate these people that live on the island. So they're going to go over there, they're going to investigate, see what they're about, and then leave. But instead, those guys ended up saying, well, you know what? Let's just attack them now and make it all happen or whatever. Let's just wipe them out because we don't like these people. So literally, those guys that did that, Aaron practically did the same thing. He's about to, actually. So he went to their country and like set up right under like a political meeting with all like the heads of everybody, and boom, dude, straight up gangstered out, dude. But okay, let's see what Robert just said. He mentioned Mortal Kombat, dude. I knew someone was gonna mention Mortal Kombat. It was a sad day today. I really wanted the Mortal Kombat trailer. It's nothing but it's good. He feels like he's gonna come out Super Bowl. Okay, so maybe it'll come out during the Super Bowl, same time with King Kong versus Godzilla, which moved to March.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. The only thing that I do not want to happen is the Monster Hunter movie happen to Mortal Kombat. The original Mortal Kombat.
I honestly don't think that'll happen. I mean, I hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't.
Oh my God! I just found out that Demon Slayer is dubbed on Funimation.
Oh, really? Good stuff.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Dude. So actually, I started Demon Slayer, and you know what, dude?
What do you think?
I'm fucking for it.
You like it? You digging it?
Yeah, dude. The
art is
so good,
gorgeous, dude.
It is so good.
Yeah, the art is fucking gorgeous. A question we got in the chat: did Dr. Stone just release?
So on Crunchyroll, I know it did. So I'm actually checking it out on Funimation right now.
Okay, we're talking a little bit of animes for you guys. Subbed is great. Oh yeah, dude. Demon Slayer is good. I gotta finish it actually. I know the manga. I know how the manga wraps up, and it's kind of an interesting concept, and it's really pulling me in. But like I said, I'm one of those guys that like I stick to what I'm watching for that moment, and I won't get into something else unless I finish something else. So like right now, Attack on Titan.
I might have to watch it on Crunchyroll because it ain't on Funimation.
Oh really?
Yeah, which is fine. I don't care.
I'll probably wait till the ending of Attack on Titan, and then I'll go back to Demon Slayer. And then, of course, my ongoing is My Hero Academia. So, and right now it's super silent, isn't it? There's nothing coming out yet, right?
On the 17th, the 297 should be coming out.
Excellent. I'm excited. Can't wait.
So literally in 2 days, it should be out.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. So if you guys heard that here first, 17th, My Hero Academia is coming out. Be ready, guys. Well, the manga, not the episode. But, so Triggs, let's get right into talking about some of this crazy stuff. So I had the opportunity, Triggs, I don't know if you got to see it yet, but I think we talked about this off camera, that it's pretty predictable in the sense of what it is. But we are discussing a movie review of what we feel and thought of Wonder Woman 1984. I got the opportunity to see it the other day. Great quality, 4K setup, stream style. It was great. It was fantastic. But the movie is left a little jaded kind of taste in my mouth. But you see, like, this is the problem with the situation that I always deal with. Like, one of my students at the gym was like, I actually heard the movie was pretty good. I heard the Wonder Woman movie was pretty good. I didn't like it. But is this movie, this is a question for people in the comments and people that are watching. Do you feel like the movie was good if you're not a fan and you just go to watch it casually like the movies? Or do you feel like it gives enough representation to the people that love the comic books also? Because, I mean, for someone who reads the comic books, I'm not going to lie to I will never lie to nobody about this shit. Wonder Woman is cool to a certain point in my life, and then she's just a character.
I have to agree on that.
Like it's kind of like, and I don't mean to
they make her so broken sometimes.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? Like it's the same thing I had a problem with Thor in the 90s. Like Thor was always this like convoluted character that had so many weird situations happen, and they just didn't know what to do with the character because he's so damn strong. And they did not know how to apply it where he was a human god, he was on Earth, and then he left back to Asgard, and they didn't know really how to put it all together correctly. So it was like that Jack Kirby essence where he was just always a cosmic being. And then when he came to Earth, he was a god. nowadays it's like you're watching the Marvel movies and you're in the comic books reading, and he's like, he's not a god anymore. He's just this very strong dude.
Yeah.
Just a super strong dude that can shoot lightning bolts from his fingers or whatever. Like, he's not noticed as a god, which I think is great for the storytelling aspect.
Well, they did the same thing with Odin in
Mhm.
Marvel. Like now every time Odin makes an appearance, it's kind of like, okay, cool.
Yeah, you're kind of like, all right, cool. And he's literally supposed to be God.
And they do the same thing with Galactus now. Anybody can body Galactus now.
Oh, dude, definitely in the comic books right now.
Yeah.
Anybody can, dude.
Yeah, and like, I'm sure fucking Captain America tried hard enough. He could take.
Yeah, he can shield his ass, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, fucking.
He'll
come
find
out
out
with
that vibranium is somehow or another a hidden weakness of
Galactus,
and some stupid shit.
It's such a weird thing when they do that kind of stuff, because
It's a fucking slap in the face to the original creators, in my opinion.
So yesterday, we all know, Marvel fans alike, everyone probably stayed up to try to wait for that 3 a.m. release of WandaVision last night.
There was absolutely no fucking way that I was doing that. I had to go to work. So instead, my slow day at work was half dedicated to watching WandaVision and doing my dailies.
Well, we'll probably end up talking a little bit spoiler free our reactions to it, but to kind of bring in the WandaVision film, I went back and I decided to check out a little bit of Doctor Strange again.
Yeah,
I wanted to kind of see, because since the idea was that this is going to lead up into the multiverse of madness, I went back to kind of see, because Marvel has a tendency of putting everything in front of our faces in such a weird way of how it's all going to play out, and we just never see it. And I kind of feel like Dormammu is going to be the person to bring in Galactus. It's a weird call, and the reason why is the way Wong talks about Dormammu. He says something like he is a cosmic entity of mass proportion. He is the devourer of worlds, and his hunger is like immeasurable. And I was like, wait a minute.
Well, Dormammu's been known as that even in the comic books.
Oh yeah,
as like a devourer of souls sort of thing.
But he's more of like a magic.
Like, I can see where you could get that.
Mm-hmm.
But if they brought in Galactus without even teasing Fantastic Four,
no, I don't mean without the Fantastic Four. I just mean like when it kind of comes to this idea that Doctor Strange's magic opens up a whole cosmic thing and starts bringing in all these weird entities because of what he's doing. He might be like a host variation of Dormammu, or Dormammu releases him and then Fantastic Four has to come in. And then that'll introduce Doctor Strange to the Fantastic Four. And it'll bring in that whole science versus magic thing. Kyle Bates.
He has a very good point.
He says, that's a huge problem when it comes to writing characters. You want your
baby to be so
you want your baby to be so fucking
but if you make him
cool.
too fucking strong to cease to have interest, no one wants to see some hero just come sweep every enemy with their 18-inch vibranium dick.
Yeah,
which is true.
Much.
Because I mean, it's basically the same thing with Black Panther. Every time Black Panther's on the scene, they're like, okay, let's see what vibranium tech he has this time.
Yeah,
pretty much. For me, it's kind of like one of those things where you have to be real careful on how you expand your current universe, because now like the moviegoers, the people who have at least just watched the MCU and not dedicated any time to reading the comics, they already have a very, very like set perception on what the MCU is. So bringing in outside characters, is going to be one of those, like, you have to do it right. And like, even though like us as comic book fans, we want it to be done a certain way, it may not fit cinematically. Yeah. So this is why, like, I give them a lot of leeway, because I'm like, bro, if you tell me a good story and you make it work, I'm for it. Granted, there are going to be certain instances where I'm like, I don't care what the story is, dude, stick to my continuity.
You see, like, that's the concept. Like, Marvel
speaking of continuity,
very important.
This hit my desk a few days ago. and it makes me ask more questions than it should answer.
Okay.
Now that Deadpool is officially part of the MCU,
Okay.
is that how they're bringing in mutants?
Is that how they're bringing in who?
Mutants.
I don't know, man. Apparently, like, this is my call. You and I know this together, that the Scarlet Witch is a very, very big part of them bringing in mutants and the Avengers together as one. Like, it all kind of correlates through her as the cross point. We love you too, Roger. Thank you so much. She's the cross point between the Avengers and the X-Men.
Well, not just her, but her and Wolverine.
Well, Wolverine hasn't been introduced.
Not yet.
Yeah, not introduced. And I mean, but it's her. Like, Wanda and Quicksilver are the introduction of mutants. Like, no matter what, they are the mutants that we talk about. So, like, everybody that's talking, oh, I can't wait for them to initiate mutants in the Marvel, they're already there. Like, Wanda Maximoff, Pietro Maximoff are the children of Magneto. Through and through, children of Magneto.
But that's assuming we were to stick to the comics. Now that they've already kind of like established the fact that they're experiments, that unfortunately kind of takes them out of that realm. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, look, watch. The best thing we could do is we'll save this for the talk of the Wanda talk, because there is a character that an actor they're bringing into the show that's already been listed in the credits, that he will already be on the show, that is going to put all of that together.
We'll see, dude. We'll see.
And we'll
I mean, they have a lot of ways that they can go with this.
Oh, dude, definitely, dude. Well, that'll be something we talk about in a little bit. But we know for sure that the reason why Marvel does very well at being able to bring all these characters in is because they got a really strong blueprint. They've had 10 years to like perfect the movie that they're making, like the style of movies. Mm-hmm. And now they're able to do not only a superhero movie, but they can do what they did in like The Winter Soldier, where they made an espionage Mission Impossible style movie with superheroes. Where they're they're talking about doing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. They said it's going to be more horror based. So now they're able to not only make superhero movies, which is a subgenre of filmmaking, like a genre of film. Now they're going to sub the genre by being able to now say, okay, we're going to do a horror cinematic, a suspense cinematic, a action cinematic. Now they're able to differentiate this different style of superhero movies. Yeah, which DC is so far behind on figuring this out. Like, okay, so let's go ahead and talk. So now we're going to get back into our discussion. We're going to be talking the Wonder Woman 1984 film. Right out of the racetrack, right out of the lane, I guess you could say. Wonder Woman, the film, gave so much homage to Christopher Reeve's Superman.
And I'm so glad that they did, dude. You know, like her first flight scene, you know, was very reminiscent to the way that Christopher Reeves was figuring out that he can fly. You know, her like zooms around the earth as well was very, you know, original Superman-esque. You know, it was one of those things where, you know, like, unfortunately, like, those scenes are great, dude, but it also asks more questions. Yes, you know, like, oh, if she could fly then, why the fuck shouldn't she do that in Justice League? You know, that was just one of those things where it's kind of like, dude, you know, I'm so glad that they're paying homage to you know, the late Christopher Reeves, you know, and just, you know, if you know Superman, you more than likely know who Christopher Reeves is.
Oh, dude, hell yeah.
You know, and it's one of those things where, you know, like, man, if you care about movies, you more than likely know who the fuck Christopher Reeves is.
Like, if there's one thing that I specifically love about the comic books and the way that they like cherish the DC universe, is how they honor the original people who bring these characters to life.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, you know, and even the post credit.
Yeah, with what's her name? Linda Blair or Linda Hamilton?
Yeah, Linda something.
Linda Carter.
Yeah.
Which is the television show Wonder Woman from many years ago.
Yeah, the
super great
person around, and you know,
Yeah, they changed her into
She's like the epitome of what an Amazon should
the
be.
Amazonian woman is.
Yeah.
She's the female character that donned that gold costume, the gold
Yeah,
armor.
the gold armor.
I believe her character was like Hippolyta or
No,
something.
that Hippolyta was her mother, if I remember correctly.
Let me
Oh,
check it out. I know it's
Carter,
something with
I'm
an A.
actually looking her up right now.
Yeah. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. I know it was something like that. It was such a weird. It was a great callback to the old Wonder Woman, but of course it didn't make any sense to me. There's a lot of things that didn't make sense to me.
Honestly, I think this is more of just homage to the 80s. You know, the early to mid 80s. You know,
A
and
love
stuff
letter
like that.
to the 80s comic book
Yeah.
movie. I mean, if we wrote it off as that, then I could see that. I could definitely see it being
only to just save face with it. That's why I'm kind of just like,
Yeah,
that's what it's gonna be. You know,
like because okay, so let's talk about when the film starts. We could talk about the entire thing where it starts to fall apart.
Yeah.
But at the very beginning, there is a bunch of different problems that are happening in the city. And Wonder Woman's coming to save the day, but you don't see her because it's very homage to the old Christopher Reeves films. Comes in, saves the day, leaves, and everybody's like, whoa, is that a bird? Is it a plane? Kind of like that concept. And the score for that scene at the beginning.
Asteria. That's what her name was.
Hysteria, right? Hysteria?
Yeah. Asteria.
Hysteria. The score, the music that they chose for the beginning of the film, it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was
it was just one of those things where you're like,
yeah, dude, it was straight up like it reminds you.
You got to do that.
It literally reminded you of the Christopher Reeve Superman. The cinematography they used, everything. It was solid.
Yeah.
And then it gets to the scene with the mall. You have these 4 bumbling, dumb people that are trying to rob a bank.
Mita, bro, it's fucking La Plaza Mall all over again.
Yeah, pretty much it's a jewelry store, right? Because they were trying to rob a jewelry store. And it was really, really bad the way that whole scene kind of played out.
Yeah, it was like they took a page out of our book.
4 guys that come together. They all have guns. They all look like the criminal idea in the back in the day 80s look. There's even one guy dressed like commando, flat top with aviator glasses and like a military vest and shit. Like super hardcore, looking like ex-military. And that guy ends up being like the biggest wuss out of all of them. Like he ends up being like, it was very, I don't know how to explain it. Like I didn't. Oh man, it's so weird because. So one of the characters ends up like grabbing a child and trying to hold her hostage. Like, okay, so we're gonna get into the lasso. The lasso is another fucking story. He grabs a child and he's holding on and he like puts her over the edge so Wonder Woman won't kick his ass or whatever, capture him. Only to be told by the guy who initiated the robbery, what are you doing with that kid? Leave the kid alone. Put it like everybody then turned against that one guy. Like it's almost like the other 3 villains that were robbing the bank were going to become good guys to stop that one guy. And then Wonder Woman just kicks the shit out of all of them and arrests them all. Like it almost like their entire plan fell apart and they forgot they were bad guys. It was a really weird entry into seeing Wonder Woman fight these guys because that's like extremely low level for her to be even like wasting time on.
Yeah.
Like they could have sent the cops and the cops could have done the same thing. In fact, the little girl that comes up to Wonder Woman probably could have taken these guys out. Like it's all soft, dude. It's all soft. But like, I want to chalk it up to the idea of it being the homage to the old 80s movies.
That's why like I'm really kind of like, bro, like this seems more of like a throwback to those movies. More than it seems like. It almost seems like it's its own isolated thing away from the canon of the actual universe,
dude. Like that whole fight scene, that whole action scene of those guys robbing the bank and her like using powers and flipping around and it was like the stuff that she was doing. I'm not gonna lie, straight up, this movie is a whole 1980 degrees of what Wonder Woman 1 was in the theme of the film.
Yeah.
The theme of the film, where Wonder Woman 1 I think did so much justice to the Wonder Woman character. Like so much justice in the sense of how
dude,
like
and not just that, because it gave a good basis to her character on
man.
like what she was originally about. You know,
Yes.
like this woman was here specifically to protect humanity.
Yeah.
You know, to right the wrongs, to try and right the wrongs of humanity, as as you know, like we were supposed to be, you know, original, you know, good, great guys, and you know, and then she sees us fall, and you know, she wants to try and correct us, you know, and lead us on a better path. And the second one was kind of just like, oh, you guys are fucking lame, dude. Like,
it was like a
I'm done.
Yeah, like it was in the very beginning. I get the Superman reference. The music was fantastic. The cinematography was great, but the way that the shots were done made it look like a joke. It was almost like a comedy, almost like a PG-13, a Hancock.
I can see that.
You know what I mean? Like, and it really took away from me that first initial like superhero-esque vibe that I got when she took out those Nazi guys in that one town.
Oh, dude, that was a sick scene.
Like the whole fight scene was gorgeous through and through.
Sick.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like, dude, it so raised the bar on who Wonder Woman was as a hero.
Yeah.
Like, not even fighting Ares, dude, who is a literal god of war.
Yeah.
At the end of the film, it did not do justice compared to.
With that being said, dude, there's one scene in that where, like, I don't care what anyone says, that is probably one of the coolest effects I've ever seen in cinematics. It's where he like dons his helmet, but it's completely like blocking his face, and so he just like,
oh, the lava.
Yeah, he like makes his eye and
that is dope, dude.
like just carves it in, and I was like, oh, sick. That was badass.
Yeah, no kidding.
If I saw that, I would be like,
he like paws it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
like
scratches it in, and like,
yeah,
that was
that's
it.
so
I was
good.
like, okay,
Yo,
I'm about to get my ass beat right now.
Literally, my favorite scene in the Wonder Woman 1 movie was, I mean, everybody's gonna love the part when she's running across the battlefield, right? And she's like dodging bullets and doing all this crazy shit. My favorite scene is when they do the shield and she fucking like slams through the door or like slams through the wall. The guys all pick her up with the shield. That was a whole Hulk juggernaut moment for me. Like that was like one of those, like they just kind of like bummed the shoulder and smashed through things.
Yeah,
dude, that was so fucking fantastic. And then when she headbutts the tank was the best thing for me. When she fucking like smashes into the tank, thought that was great too. This movie had zero of that.
Yeah.
Like this movie had zero.
So with what Kyle asks, I can see that being the case, but there's no history here. You know, like there's no like we've already been told her origin story. So I mean, I can see that where they're trying to move away from the dark and gritty. But I mean, that's kind of like what the DCEU has already kind of done for itself.
Yes.
That is a very dark kind of esque like style of just shooting. You know, I mean, even just about every like movie that they've come out with, they've all been dark shots. Like even like in Justice League, you know, where Superman comes back. That's still a very dimly lit outside scene. Like the brightest part of that entire scene, I think, is when he's in the fucking field and his mom sees him.
Oh yeah, no shit.
That's like the brightest scene of that entire fucking movie.
I mean, dude, like we can even go off and say, okay, like, because that's a really good question. Maybe they're trying to get away from the dark history of it,
which is fine. I completely understand that, and I'm
like you look at it. Let's look at the most, the happiest or clearest superhero-esque movie, Shazam, that they did. Like that was more to me. That was a better superhero movie that DC's done. It was funny. It didn't take itself serious. It really gave homage to the character as a child. It was very great through and through.
Honestly, I think Shazam and Wonder Woman are the two best so far.
But the thing is that Shazam is still dark. Like it's still very like that whole like
it has a dark history. I would have to say that it has a dark history because, you know, the reason that I say that is because oh my god, sorry. The reason that I say that is because, you know, for anyone who kind of like knows or even kept up with the DCU, you know that Black Adam is coming. And Black Adam is a very dark character.
Oh,
That
dude,
guy,
super dark.
there's one word that he cannot say, and if he says it, he gonna die. And that's Shazam. And you know, so it's kind of like one of those things like, hey man, you know, like it's one of those things where like, yeah, man, that's a pretty dark history. I mean, especially with fucking whatever his face is, stupid crazy eye guy. And you know, and how he kills his dad and stuff like that. You know, I mean, it was gangster. Hello,
yeah, it was interesting. Hi, Audrey. Audrey's just making bartending up. Dude. Good job, Audrey, keeping Trigger hydrated.
Yeah,
with the dehydration.
Marrying her,
keeping him hydrated with the dehydration.
Yeah,
but yeah, like even with that idea, like getting away from the grittiness of the filming, like yeah, like I can see that to a certain point, but when they did that, they kind of made the movie more playful. And they did not do it to where it kept in theme with what it was back in the earlier movie, right? Yes, he is a very, very thirsty guy, Oz. Trigger's always thirsty.
Well, so and Kyle says again, you know, they branded that way, but that's also a huge complaint against them. And it is. Yeah. You know, it's kind of like one of those things like, man, you know, it could either work or it could help, you know, it could help or it could hurt. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's one of those things where like you gotta take it in strides. You know, and like right now, I think their methodology of like trial and error is working against them.
And they should have already been past the trial and error
that the DCU is doing. They're doing a lot of trial and error. Oh, what's going to work? What won't work? What will work? What won't work?
They should have already been past that by now, dude. They already made
and I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. But at the same time, it's kind of like one of those things where like in the comic books, killing it.
Yeah, oh dude.
Killing it.
Dude, they even brought back the idea of the Linda Carter Wonder Woman in the ending of Death Metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they even brought her back, and I was like, this is
and I know, and like now that like Death Metal scene makes so much more sense because of 1984.
Oh, well, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
So you see like how they constantly pay homage to the older films.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like what they're doing. And that makes me really, really think that they're setting up for a reboot. But they already kind of did a little bit with the soft reboot because of Death Metal.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about in the comic books.
Yeah. But since that's the case, I think, you know, 1984 might have just been like the reboot point, you know, or, I mean, for lack of a better term, you know, our flashpoint. For the DCU.
Yeah, I can see
because that. I know for sure the Snyder Cut is going to be like their official reboot.
But it's going to, man, dude, I have no faith in the Snyder Cut.
I do, dude.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Dude, even right now with the way 1984 came out and them talking about making better films and giving all this money.
Snyder has nothing to do with that movie though.
Oh, well, of course not. Of course. But then again, you have to understand that all of these director guys got to come together because they all have to eventually make a film together.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I think that there has to be a centralized producer in all of this, and like there really isn't, and that's kind of like what bums me out because you know, like, you know, when it came to the MCU, Kevin Feige was the executive producer.
There was another guy too, Bob Crates or something like that.
Yeah, but Kevin Feige was like the leading guy.
Yeah.
Then they had their own, you know, separate directors like James Gunn and Joss Whedon, Jon Favreau, these guys. And, you know, they all like essentially answered to him. Like, I think it's kind of like his like, okay, so this is our next 10 movies. John, you have these 3. Joss, you have these 2. If you don't fuck up this one, we can let you have this one.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that. Like that's the way they have a really nice setup.
You know, and like I think that's kind of like where it goes, and it's kind of like, all right, break, go for it. You know,
and they don't have that in DC.
Yeah, I know.
They don't have that in DC. Like, okay, like going back to the
Jeff Johnson, just, you know, executive produce all this shit, dude.
Like going back to the Wonder Woman film, like there was a lot of like nonsense. A lot of nonsense that didn't even make sense. There was everything was almost like what is it, like a Deus Ex Machina, or what do we call it when everything just kind of falls into place, like, oh, this is here.
Oh, serendipitous moment.
Yeah, everything, dude. This new girl, Barbara, walks in. She's working with the Smithsonian. The first person that happens to meet her is Wonder Woman, right? Diana Prince. She dropped all her papers on the floor. No one wants to help her. All the guys ignore her because she's ugly.
I'd have to comment on that scene, and I know which one you're talking about. And the reason that I think that scene is very important is because in the comic books, the two of them are very good friends. Barbara Minerva and Diana Prince are actually very, very good friends, and their friendship is only really ever shaken when she became Cheetah, and even more so, even after that, like Diana always felt very, very like responsible for what happened to Barbara, and it was kind of like one of those things where it's like like you're right, I've had all these great things happen to me, and you've got the literal shit stick your entire life, and it sucks, and like it's not right, and plus her being a woman, and Wonder Woman is a known feminist, so it's kind of like one of those things where like she's always wanted to try and help her out, but
she's a champion. She's a champion of the female,
and so that's why it's kind of like one of those like Barbara just happens to fit in her.
Oh, my camera.
Her overall narrative of what she wants to try and protect.
My camera just died, but it's cool. I'm gonna fix it real quick.
Sweet, because you're frozen.
Yeah, I know. I just saw that right now. I was like, whoops.
Yeah, man, you have like the most serious face.
I know. I see that. That's crazy. I'll fix it right now. No worries. No worries. But yeah, like there's this like there's a really weird situation that happens with them, right? And the weird situation that happens with these two characters is the character Barbara, like I said, she's clumsy. She's like really all over the place. She's an archaeologist, just went to college. It's more like she's just down on her luck, right?
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like what they tried a little too hard to hit on.
Yeah.
Like you could have portrayed her as like, a ditzy, clumsy archaeologist who's really smart and kind of like has absolutely no friends sort of thing. I mean, you've seen that exact character a bajillion times in almost every fucking chick flick ever.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
so, so that's kind of like one of those things where it's like, okay, I get it, and like, and that's kind of like why, like, I'm like, dude, like the 80s was such a good era for movies, but it's also fucking cringe.
Oh, dude,
like, it is so cringy. And so that's why when I see it, I'm like, this was so cringy.
So what happens is Barbara, like I said, there's an accident, not a really bad accident, she just drops her shit. Everybody kind of ignores her. She's like a bug on the wall kind of thing. And then Diana Prince comes up, helps her out. This chick then picks up her stuff, and while she's there, she's like, "Ha, thank you for helping me. Would you want to get some dinner sometime or something?" Talking to a Diana Prince who they've already established is the loneliest superhero, good looking, and all this other stuff on the planet. Super extremely rich, well off, just super lonely though. 67 years that it's taken her to get over one guy. Like,
if Batman happened to have magic powers, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, pretty much. It's such an awkward, like, that to me was such a weird thing where throughout all her time and her being very unindependent because of a man, because she grew up in the Amazons and men are kind of like a weaker link and like all of this stuff, to have her super whooped on a dude for like 64, 67 years. To where she's eating dinner by herself. She doesn't go out. She doesn't have any friends. She doesn't go anywhere. All she does is go home and stay by herself. And it's like
sulk.
Yeah, that's a very long sulk, dude. That's an extreme sulk, dude. Like, is that that's a godly
my only thing that I could even defend against that would have to be the fact that, like, dude, this woman's like 1,500 years old. I'm sure that this sulking period is like a month for her.
Oh, dude.
I mean, that's a good,
sulk.
That's like a good, explanation for anything.
Brooding. Yeah, very much she's brooding. A whole fucking year of brooding, like a whole 67 years of brooding. But like, it gives this concept, and then all of a sudden, like, she runs into this person, and this person just being clumsy, is like, hey, would you like to go get a bite to eat one day? And she's like, no, bye. And she leaves her, only to find out later that Wonder Woman then appears again to come and talk to her when she gets a package out of nowhere, and it just so happens to be the wishing stone. And then Wonder Woman's like, that looks pretty interesting. Where did you get that? And this chick, Barbara's like, oh, well, we just acquired this from last week. It's apparently a wishing stone. So yeah, it's so funny. And Wonder Woman's holding onto the stone. And in her mind, she's like, a wishing stone. I guess we can only wish, right? But like she's holding on to it. And that's the concept of her making the wish that Trevor would be back.
Yeah.
Of course, like, but later on, there is a scene where they wish nuclear war doesn't happen and it starts deleting nukes from the sky. So the wishes are actual physically happen wishes. Yeah. But why is it that the spirit of Trevor takes over a random dude?
Yeah, that was always kind of very, that was very ambiguous. Just wishing for that booty call, right?
Wishing for that booty call, boy.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Crimson Zero said it first. No, like, yeah, I totally understand what you mean. That was kind of like very like, well, not like, why not just bring him back?
Yes.
I definitely understand what you mean by that. Like, another thing that kind of like tripped me out, it was like, why is it that her wish took away her powers? I still don't understand that.
You see, that was the other thing with the wish. It takes something, but you have to offer that. But okay. She never offers that. She doesn't say like, man, yeah, I really wish this guy, Steve Trevor, would come back because I would totally give my powers up as an Amazonian god just to get again.
Like what I can see, and this is just like out of left field a little bit, I could see where she would, her wish isn't that Steve Trevor is back, but that she could spend the rest of her life with Steve Trevor. So it instead takes her immortality and her powers so that she could live that life with him.
But it didn't give her.
I can see that, but like still, nonetheless, like nothing is stated.
Yeah, dude. Like no one sees him as Steve Trevor.
Yeah,
like everyone
sees him as that fucking rando dude.
Like they just, like everyone's gonna see him as that random dude.
Yeah.
So like the wish didn't even give it to her the way that she asked for it.
Dude, that makes me, oh man, that makes me think of that fucking very, very terrible 90s, early 2000s movie, Wishmaster.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Be careful what you wish for.
The PG version of Wishmaster.
Yeah, dude.
That was this movie. So then it gets back to this idea of then how did Cheetah get her powers? Like Cheetah then, okay, so there's a moment where super random again. I think it's after they go out or something happens. Barbara is walking through the park. Some random drunk dude's like, hey, what's up, girl? You need a date to walk you home. And she's like, not really, dude. Just leave me alone. And then the guy is persistent. No, man, what's the matter? You don't like me taking you home? Let me take you home. Like physically wanting to be a guy to help her get home. I don't know if it was like he wanted to do stuff to her or whatnot, but he's literally like in bright lights on the sidewalk saying, hey, what's up, girl? You shouldn't be walking by yourself. Let me take you home. It's the weirdest, most courteous, thoughtful thing in a weird way, because the guy's drunk and he's just saying he'd rather walk her home than her be alone, which the whole thing is her not wanting or wanting attention from people. And then finally some guy kind of acknowledges her in a weird way. But since he's drunk and is wearing like a, I don't know, like a suit, he's wearing like a suit, like pulled out, like he went to the bar. Like that's going to be like, okay, but still nonetheless, they make him an aggressor. He gets like physical and grabs her. Hey, what's up, man? You don't want me walking you home or whatever? Wonder Woman, as Diana Prince, not as Wonder Woman, comes up, grabs him and flings him straight up across the street with Barbara not even being unconscious, slapped, hit or nothing. Her literally seeing it. And then for Barbara to be like, what just happened? And then Wonder Woman be like, oh, it's martial arts. It's self-defense. I used his weight against him. And he's like fucking 30 yards, dude, from him. Yeah. And I mean, dude, that girl was like, And then she asks, what are you even doing here, Diana?
I learned Krav.
Krav Maga, dude. Super Krav Maga. Throw her like
fucking Salat and Krav Maga shit.
Then the other thing is, then she even asked him, like, Diana, what are you doing here? Like, we're in the middle of the park. Like, we weren't even, oh, it was after the party. And she's like, oh, it's I left my keys back at the office. And it's like, what? Like, what? Like, how random would that be in New York City for you to like be walking and walk by someone randomly that's about to get jumped or beat the fuck out of, and you just happen to not be there, like stalking them? Like, to me, it was the idea that she was like tailing this girl, but it wasn't that way. But the thing is everything just so happens to fit together, and it's gonna make sense in a little bit too. So we get to the next scene. She goes back. They're looking for the stupid rock. And it's the introduction of Maxwell Lord. Now, Maxwell Lord is a very
obscure character.
Obscure to say
that's my best description for Maxwell Lord. That guy has like 3 cool moments in his entire
literally moments, not even like arcs. Moments.
It's literally 3 moments that he's cool, and one of them is him dying.
We'll talk about that too. We're gonna talk about that shit. I need to talk about it.
So that's why I'm kind of like all right.
So they introduced this character. He is
let me pull him up.
He's a con man, which is kind of like the way he was in the books.
Yeah.
When he first started off, he was literally just a con man. Later on in the comics, they end up bringing him out where he is like a con man, but he's a metahuman. So he's actually psychic. He's able to get people to do what he wants. Almost like the Purple Man in Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
Right. It's an interesting power. It is. I think it's great. I think it's cool what he does in that sense. But it wasn't until Crisis Infinity or Infinity Crisis that he becomes something that's more of a prominent idea of a villain.
Infinity Crisis.
Yeah.
He ends up being more because in Infinity Crisis, his psychic abilities are raised high enough to where he convinces Superman that Batman and Wonder Woman are old enemies of his. Yes. And so Superman just beats
the fuck out of Batman.
Yeah, beats the fuck out of him.
Which isn't very much because like Batman's just a normal dude. Yeah.
Right.
What is he gonna
do? And then Wonder Woman holding him off and stuff like that and subdues him, but just for like moments. And during that time,
you know how she stops him, right?
Yeah, she uses her lasso.
No. She throws the tiara and cuts his neck.
Oh, and does she?
Superman's like fucking bleeding from his neck, freaking out. Like he's like, Diana, he made me see. I think the most hardcore scene was, Diana, he made me see Doomsday rip Lois apart. Like he's literally doing the injustice thing to him.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was pretty sad. And then that's when and then that's when Wonder Woman is like, "Hey, like, how do I stop like your influence?"
Yeah, it's sad for the Boy Scout.
And like the most gangster thing, he's like, "Well, you have to kill me." Bet.
Yeah, but the thing is, the reason why it was so crazy is because he's Maxwell Lord is wrapped around the lasso of truth, like he has it around him.
Yeah, that's right.
She's like, I have to stop you. There has to be a way. The lasso compels you. Tell me how I have to stop you. And he's like, the only way you're going to stop me from doing what I am doing at the moment and stopping controlling Superman and killing everybody is you have to kill me. That's the fucking truth. Bet snaps his fucking neck.
Say less.
Yeah. Boom. This arc would have been way easier if he just told me to snap your neck. Right? But dude, that also
it's her face. It's her face when she does.
No emotion. Zero.
And like
zero emotion. But like the thing was that then kind of like cascades or domino effects the entire break of the universe with Superboy breaking the entire fucking timeline. Dude, it sets it up. That is the point, the most important point in the Superboy Prime story in the universe of everything. That is the point that broke the multiverse because it showed that heroes were willing to kill to get the job done.
Yeah.
But the thing is it's not superheroes that are doing that.
It's just Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
And to kind of slightly correct you, I think that's when it became the very, very prominent moment where yes, they finally show that Wonder Woman has absolutely no problem.
No chill, dude.
No problem doing it.
Yeah, she has
Like,
zero chill.
not
Dude.
even the slightest fuck to give.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
about
unless you gain a fuck, she gives none.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and I am more than sure that she gave her like that. Her last fuck is located in a bush in Themyscira.
Yeah, one of them that she slid by in that fucking scene at the beginning.
I'm sure she has that fuck tucked away somewhere very tidy.
So this character, Maxwell Lord, ended up being a huge. That moment, we talk about moments about this guy, but there are moments that are very strong in what he's done, which was one of them. The crisis is probably the most important one.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing because it really changed the facet of the entire multiverse. But the thing is they use this character here as a kind of like a political statement to what's going on in the world right now. So his character,
and that's another reason why I wasn't like a huge fan of the movie.
Yeah,
I'm trying to stay away from it, and like my office is very political, and I'm kind of like
even like the first major thing that this guy does is okay. So first of all, in the comics, when he does have powers that he can like get people to do what he wants, it's because he's a metahuman, which is their variation of saying that he's a mutant. That's his special power. In this movie, what he does is he gets the soul stone and that's the wishing stone. And what it is it's kind of like an artifact the same way the lasso of truth is. It's a item that is embellished with the powers of a god. Right. And the thing is one of the gods is like almost like a Loki, where he's like a kind of like a mischievous god. And what he's done is he's created the soul stone to like be like Wishmaster, where if you give something, it takes from you. So while he's doing this, every time he does a power, Maxwell Lord's body starts to diminish in a way. It's almost like it's taking from him. But that doesn't make sense because every wish that he does, he then gives back to the other person. He takes from that other person. So there's no reason for it to be taking from him. But the reason why they did that is because the older ways that Maxwell Lord was written in the comic books is when he would overuse his powers, he would get bloody nose. Yeah, he would start to fuck himself up. But that's very common for psychic abilities in comics and stories and stuff because it's a lot of pressure on the brain in some way or something. That's the way they kind of write it off. And that's the way
they did the same thing.
We imagine it.
Yeah, they did the same thing. It was, for me, it was most prominent in Marvel, you know, and I know that we always talk about Marvel, right?
It's good.
But you know, it was very prominent in Marvel. You know, Susan Storm had it happen to her. Jean Grey had it happen to her.
Bloody nose,
you know, Professor Xavier. I mean, just about every psychic who's ever been, you know, ever shown in any kind of.
When they get pushed. When they get pushed to like a limit, right?
Yeah.
But like, okay, so that's the thing behind that character is he starts to diminish because he's using the power that he already naturally has. This one, it's almost like they're saying that the power that he has from the stone is taking from him, but it's also taking from them that wish.
Yeah.
Which I didn't understand because then he ends up saying, okay, cool. Well, then when someone wishes, once I give everybody what they want, I'll just start wishing for my health to be back. So this guy just found a way to make infinite wishes.
Yeah.
Right? He just literally, like, instead of just being like, yo, I wish for infinite wishes. Like, he could have just done that shit and just kept doing it. But now he asked for something else. So the first thing that he does is he goes, oh, you know what? I am this con artist that's been trying to get this oil thing done really well.
Roxanne.
Yeah, kind of like Roxanne. We talked about that earlier, right? He's this oil tycoon, but he's very ignorant at certain things, and he's trying to get this plan like to where he becomes awesome. But he's like, since he's like a phony, this character, I forgot his name, but he's in the comics. He's a very small character too. But he ends up coming in, and then Maxwell Lord's son is there, and he kind of tells him off in front of his kid. And the kid's kind of looking at him like, Dad, you're not a loser. And he's like, I'm not a loser, kid. Like, I'm a fucking genius. You'll see me. And like, he kind of like, it's very weird the way they write him because there's a lot of similarities to the way it is with our current situation with our president.
Yeah.
To where like a lot of people talk about his son kind of like not liking his father and his dad wanting to be cool to his kid. But then the first thing that this guy does when he gets his powers is he goes to Egypt to talk to a Saudi guy that's like super crazy in the oil fields. And he tells this guy, look, if you give me your oil stuff, dude, I will totally help you. And the guy's like, well, what do you want? He tells the Saudi guy, what do you want? What do you want? I'll give you anything you want. Just tell me, give me your wish. And he holds his hands and he goes, well, I wish for my people to have their land back and for no one to tell us what to do with it or whatnot. And he's like, cool. Like, if you give me that, you give me all your stuff for the oils. And then all of a sudden, a giant wall just like builds in front of Egypt. Like, it separates the fucking city. Like, it's just a giant wall. I was like, come on, dude. Like, they could have done it any other way, but they built a wall. And then all of a sudden, the guy goes, oh, that's awesome. You separated my lands for my people. But
Mexico pays for it.
All my oil shit. I sold it like last week. Like, the guy had sold his oil shit. So then all of a sudden, he says, fine, then I'll take all your military and your security and your guards and your tanks, and they'll escort me and be my army. Bye. And he walks right out with everybody. And I'm like, well, wouldn't that wish had already gone through with whatever oil thing he had? Because that's what you asked for. No matter the size of what it was, he still just asked for that wish to happen that way. So then if that's the case, he would have been like, well, you didn't get nothing, so you fucked your wish up. That's what he has. And it would have gone through, right?
I guess not.
yeah, fuck. I guess that, because then he literally wishes, and then all the security guards bounce out with him. Like, and then he has an army, and then he's like, "Cool, let's go, guys. We're going back to America." They start going in a vehicle, like in a convoy, and they're driving down the road. And here comes the part that this was a question that we just got asked earlier by our good friend Robert. I think asked this about the plane, right?
Oh, about the invisible jet.
Yeah, he said something other here. I can't remember where he said it, but he said it earlier, and he says about the invisible plane. And this is where it comes in, because Wonder Woman then finds out from someone else, actually from Barbara, that Maxwell Lord took the stone after a party because they got it on or whatever, her and Maxwell Lord.
The F to the uct, dude.
Yeah, this is literally moments after Barbara had gotten the Soul Stone to herself, grabbed it, and was like, doesn't know anything about Diana Prince, and just was like, man, I wish I had Diana Prince's energy and strength and powers. That's how she loses her energy. That's how Wonder Woman loses her powers, is because Barbara wishes she could be like Diana Prince. Not like Wonder Woman.
But then that also raises the question, why is it that when she wishes Steve Trevor away, she gets her powers back?
Exactly. It's just everything's like falling into place in a weird fucking way. Everything starts falling. Okay, so like the idea would be, if Barbara would ask for the wish to be like Diana Prince, then they give her the powers of Wonder Woman.
You know,
then they would both have the same power.
Yeah.
That would be the equivalent, right?
Well, you would think that'd be the idea, right?
That would be the idea.
But no, I wish I had her powers. Okay, dude, cool. Well, here are her
but
powers.
The thing is like the way she said it, it didn't make sense, because Diana Prince was just being nice to her, and then showed up and helped her not get in a situation with a drunk dude. And then I don't know, just like takes her out to go eat. That's the only thing she does. And this girl's like, man, I wish I was like that girl. I wish I had her whole life and her powers and her energy. But like, why would you say powers? Like, you would just say like, man, I wish I could be like that girl, or I wish I could be like that person, or I wish I was as cool as her, or whatever. You would say something different, but the way she words it makes the Sohn give her powers like Wonder Woman. Yeah. Which is why she ends up getting those powers without her being turned into Cheetah. Now, the question that I have for everyone out there, if you've seen the movie, why did the stone choose to turn her into a cheetah? Because there is no reference of a cheetah in anything in this movie. Nothing. There wasn't a science experiment to turn her into a cat. There wasn't a mutagen that was going to kind of Ninja Turtle her out. The only thing that she does is she goes, rawr, like she does that at the beginning of the movie as a joke to Wonder Woman. But like, there's no reference to a
doesn't she wear like a cheetah print dress?
The shoes that Diana Prince, that's it. That's what it was. The shoes that Diana Prince was wearing was cheetah print. But that's enough so that when she makes a wish, that's what she turns into.
That's very convoluted.
That's super weird. Okay, you know what though? I'm gonna go back on this because there have been very different variations of how Cheetah is as a character in the comic books. God's
Yeah.
work in mysterious ways. Yep, that's right. Hi, Joanna. Welcome.
Hey.
Welcome to the chat. Welcome back to another Friday night with the boys. Yeah, like straight up, like in the comic books. Let's talk a little bit about the origin story of Cheetah.
Looking at it right now.
So, like, if I'm not mistaken, there have been 4 iterations, including Barbara as the last and the most recent of the Cheetah. 2 of them females, 1 of them male, and then Barbara being the last.
So technically 3. There's been 1 on 3 different Earths, but
Oh, no, that's Barbara.
yeah, but it's always
That's
been
Barbara
Barbara.
because she ends up bouncing out by some like weird like teleport. It's super weird. We'll talk about that. But it's fucking weird. Everything about Cheetah is the weirdest shit. But this is what we were talking about. Every time we mentioned it before, I told you it's always been some weird situation where the first one, if I'm not mistaken, she is friends with Diana Prince in some way. She's an archaeologist or something, but she ends up saving the life of this like weird guru that then gives her a potion that turns her into Cheetah. That's one of them. He's like a Gandhi kind of dude, but it doesn't explain why she becomes evil. It never really explains why she becomes evil in that sense. It just makes her a villain. Then the second iteration was the niece or the daughter of that character.
Okay, so there's been Barbara Minerva, Deborah Domain, and Priscilla Rich. Yeah. Those are the 3 female cheetahs, and then there was 1 male, Sebastian Ballesteros.
Yeah, that guy. It's almost the same way as the older one.
Yeah. Priscilla Rich was the original Golden and Silver Age. Deborah Domain was the Bronze Age, and Barbara Minerva is technically the current and contemporary version of the cheetah character.
Yeah. And you know what? You're gonna have to we could put this on a plaque one day. I actually prefer the new 52 variation story origin of Cheetah compared to the older ones.
I can see why.
The new 52 variation is she was like in a cult, like raised in a cult, and they were raised to worship the goddess of the hunt. And then when she becomes like, she has to even kill her brother. Like they send him out. What's that movie? Hunger Games style. She ends up fucking popping him with a bow and arrow. I think she shoots him like in the neck or the back or the face, or she says she kills his brother in a fucking weird way, in a horrible way. She goes back and she's like, "What's up, bitches? I won," or whatever. And then she shows up, and then the lead master of the cult is kind of like, "Hey, that's pretty good, Heaven's Gate style. You're gonna have to use this blade of something, and you're gonna have to stab your mortal heart, because the goddess of the hunt says you're gonna be the living embodiment of her host or whatever." So nonetheless, she's like, "Bet, I love this place." She stabs herself, and boom, she becomes Cheetah, which then, in the sense of it being like a magical thing about a pantheon, does give her the realm to go toe-to-toe in a way with Wonder Woman. You know what I mean? Like, I like that variation because that's been my biggest concern is, how are you going to get a girl that just wants to be out of all fucking animals in the animal kingdom, a cheetah, to fight the goddess that can punch fucking toe-to-toe with Ares, with Odin, with Zeus? Like, how is a cheetah going to fucking fight Zeus? You know what I mean? So like there's this, like, I preferred the new 52 variation because it did give it even the playing field between both characters. But in this story, she gets her powers originally from telling the Soul Stone, or the wish. I keep calling it the Soul Stone. God save me. She goes to the Wishing Stone and says, "I wish I was like Diana Prince," and it just so happens Diana Prince is Wonder Woman, so she ends up starting to get these powers, and she doesn't know why. Later on, they end up coming out that the Soul Stone is evil, and they got to track down this guy Maxwell Lord, only for them to get there. They talk about why the Soul Stone is bad, but the fact that this character Barbara now is super popular, she has all these powers and all this stuff, she's kind of like, well, I don't want to give these up because now I'm happy. I don't care if you're unhappy and you feel like this has to all be undone because it's unnatural. I'm happy though. Oh yeah, we'll get to that, Joanna. We talked a little bit about it earlier.
Yeah, we briefly touched on it.
Yeah, we touched on it. We're all excited about it though, for sure.
Yeah.
But
so from what I'm reading, her origin stories remained pretty true to a certain thing, and it's that there's this plant god whose name I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce.
Yeah.
It starts with a U, Kartaga or some shit like that. Yeah. Anyway, what the fuck ever. In the current iteration, she was captured. In the original one, she found it. And yeah, it was a little bit like what you were saying, where, you know, like, they were they were like kind of made to like kill each other. And and in the original version of her, it was kind of like one of those like, oh hey, like one of you is gonna make it out.
Yeah,
that's it. Like one of you is gonna like make it out, and somehow or another she survives.
Yeah, she survives. She shoots her brother.
Yeah.
But like the thing is like I was saying, like there's a more magical essence to it. It's not just like a hey, here's some mutagen, drink this shit, you're gonna turn into a cheetah. Like being that she's imbued with the living hostess of the goddess of the hunt, it evens the playing field in the magical sense to the realm of the Pantheon of against Wonder Woman. So like we're always talking about this. Where I think last week we even talked about it. Where I was like, dude, what do you expect a chick dressed as a cheetah to do to a chick that throws hands with Ares? And you were like, no. There's been times where she's, you know, gone toe to toe. And the thing is we believe that the reason why is because she holds back because she's a champion for the female race. So for her to throw hands with Cheetah would have to bother the fuck out of her enough so that she has to open up on her. But she's going to be like, look, let's talk this out. We don't need to be this way. Which
I can understand, you know.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
And it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because we can't say that Cheetah can go toe to toe with Superman, but in the new 52, she has been able to.
Oh yeah,
she's been able to, and that's because
what I've seen from what I've seen, and even in her current iteration, is that like weirdly enough, Cheetah also holds back as well. Like they always fight each other at like a base level.
Yeah, they got to be like
they kind of have that like weird like unsung respect for each other.
Yeah,
that like we stop at a certain point. I'll kill you, but I won't use everything.
It's when it goes
to like because there are certain times where Cheetah, you know, just dumps it into fourth, and you know she's like, you know what, I'm just gonna completely go crazy, and she kind of just lets, you know, the Cheetah take over.
Yeah, and she, you know, animalistic. She lets go. Yeah. She berserkers out or whatnot. Yeah, I think it's very you know, typical superhero story where both characters are like, haha, here's my special move. Haha, I've been working on this one. Haha. Like I feel that. I definitely feel that. But like in this film, even the fight scene that Cheetah and Wonder Woman have is complete garbage, dude. Like it's complete other garbage. It's literally Wonder Woman. She throws the lasso up in the air and they just twirl for like 3 minutes long. It's literally her holding on to Wonder Woman and she's just spinning, and they're just spinning around this area with like sparks and shit. It's the worst fight scene I've ever seen in a superhero movie. That's hard to say, man. That's hard to say. But then that's not even to mention that. Okay, here's a question. There is a part when Wonder Woman when is the part that this goes out to anybody that's seen the film too? When does she renounce the wish?
When she who, Cheetah or Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman.
She does it when she's talking to Steve. She turns around and he tells her that no matter where he is, that he'll always love her, and then she renounces the wish.
But you see, that's not right either. Because she's still losing her power, which is why she uses the suit to go fight that chick, because she's still weak. And then when she gets there, Cheetah's still scratching at her costume, taking the wings off. And then all of a sudden she then says something in her mind where she renounces the wish again. And then like throws all the shit off, and Cheetah flies back. And then Cheetah's like, you renounced your wish. Like it's at that moment again that she almost renounces the wish twice.
Mm-hmm.
But
Who
that's
knows?
the
Maybe it's
thing.
2 different wishes. I mean,
What? I don't what? When did she make the second wish?
who the fuck knows, dude?
Trigger, you're confusing me, man.
Hey, man, I never said this was a good movie.
Yo, and did you know what? I'm gonna give it up too because this may be very like nitpicky, right?
You nitpicky?
No, I do, but you know what? I'm not the only one because Game Theory made a video about the fucking the invisible plane. Robert, we're gonna talk about your invisible plane. So they finally paid homage to the invisible plane in the Wonder Woman movie, which is something funny. Which I had a way that I wanted it to happen, and the way I wanted it to happen was we all know that Wonder Woman can fly after the New 52. Same thing with Aquaman. Aquaman could just talk to fish back in the day. Then all of a sudden he came out and he was the Jason Momoa we all love, except he could fly. The way I wanted for them to initiate that she had a flying jet that was invisible is I wanted it to be somewhat in the Batcave in the movie Justice League. And when the Flash is running around fucking with things, I wanted him to slam into it. Like just to like clop himself and knock himself out and be like, what the heck? And then Wonder Woman be like, oh, that's my invisible plane. You should be careful. You know what I mean? I always thought that would have been the funniest way to initiate the idea that her invisible plane was referenced.
I mean, yeah, I could see that.
That would have been super funny because he sits in the Batmobile, dude. Like the Flash sits in the Batmobile, and the way he sits in there, Ezra Miller.
Yeah,
the way he acts that scene out is perfect, and I think he would have sold that scene in one of the funniest ways. And it just would have been a nice homage to something back in the old days, the Bronze Age or Silver Age of Wonder Woman. But instead, they initiated this way, which again brings up a whole other bag of questions. How is she able to tap into Zeus's powers and make the invisible plane herself the same way that Zeus hid Themyscira from the world? How is that?
I don't know. Like it's still like one of those things where like, you know, that's why I'm really, really starting to like think that like this is just like in its own like little universe, you know, its own little Three Jokers universe thing.
Someone's like, hey, you know what? Like, how are they gonna get past all of these things? Oh, the invisible plane. Well, where did she get that? Like, she didn't have the invisible plane in the other movie. Fuck it, let's just make her make one. And then they'd be like, well, what kind of plane is it? I don't know. Like, let's just pick
Invisible.
one on Google. Type in
invisible
fucking
kind.
plane in Google. They fucking type one in Google, and then everyone's like, what's the next one? The next one was, where the fuck are they gonna get that? Oh, dude, she works at a museum that has fucking airplanes in the back. Because, dude, they did not explain how it was that they fucking got an airplane. They just like show up to an airport hangar and she's like, oh, Steve, come over here. We just so happen to have a jet plane ready to go. Which, okay, a lot of people will come and say, oh, dude, it's because in the back of the Smithsonian Museum, they have an area dedicated to old planes. They make a bunch of planes like classics and they put them out there so people can see them in the graveyard, the airplane graveyard.
Yeah.
Why is it filled up with enough fuel to get to Egypt from Washington? That's a lot of fucking fuel. That's a lot of fucking fuel. And let me ask one more question. Why would it matter if she can make the plane invisible when radar is sonar and deals with radio waves? They're still going to see that. Nobody like, okay, dude, with the watchtowers of the airports do not physically have binoculars looking for airplanes in the sky. The fucking radar literally sends a sonar radio signal out, and whatever it hits physical then bounces back. It's not by visual, it's by radio. But she made the plane invisible. So thank God for that. Thank God for that, man.
Gotta love it, dude.
Yeah, she even, and that's the thing is like they even mentioned when Trevor is like, not to mention that Trevor has never touched technology of that nature since like what, World War One, which they didn't have anything close to being a jet plane in World War One. And he just, it's magic though. Yeah, I'll cock it after that. That's pretty much what they said in the fucking meeting for the movie too. When they're like, what about the radar, dude? They're going to see that play the radar. It's fucking magic, dude. It's fucking magic. Just leave it alone and cop it up for magic. Like,
yeah, dude.
Like there were so many questions. They had a plane ready to fly right out of the museum. That would be like you walking into a gun store with guns loaded, ready for you to fire in the store.
Dude, you know, that actually makes me think of this meme. And it's so fucking funny, dude. It's so funny. And this meme is this guy walks into a gun store and he asks to try out asks to look at this like really nice Daniel Defense AR-15, and like the caption is a pro gamer move, and he takes out a loaded mag from his pocket and he puts it in and like he racks it, and then he holds up the gun store, and I was like, bet.
Oh no, dude. Oh no. Hey, dude. So like a lot, that's the thing that kind of like, I guess, took the enjoyment of it being a serious superhero movie. Like the way, the thing is like, I feel that Marvel has been trying to make it to where comic book films can be registered and looked at as serious films.
Well, and after Martin Scorsese was like, well, they're not cinema.
Yeah, talking shit. And he's not the only one. There was that other female actress too, the one that everybody did the meme, the gay meme, gay. Or Mamalo, the old lady, Barbara Streisand. Not Barbara Streisand. Some lady.
I know who you're talking about, but I'm trying to remember who said it.
Yeah, I cannot remember her name. She's a meme now, and it's so funny, her character. She came out and said that there's no way that these movies will ever get awards because they're not worth it.
Yeah.
They're not worth it. And you know what? Like, that has been the problem with comic book films back in the 90s into the 2000s, is that they were just funny. They were just kind of whippy, kind of like action movies. You know, the best one at that time that was coming out that could have probably gone for an award or two was, to me, Blade. I still to this think that Blade was one of the greatest superhero style movies back in the day.
Well, Blade saved Marvel Comics.
Hell yeah, it did.
It grossed $153 million and pulled Marvel Comics out of debt, and they were able to keep going. And then, you know, Jon Favreau was like, "Hey, so
we're onto something."
Seems like, "Oh, so Iron Man, what do you want?"
Hear me out.
And they were like,
"Hear me out. Hear me out."
Yeah,
and
so hear me out. Like, Iron Man. What does everyone think?
I still to this day will tell people, you know, that Blade did amazing things for the comic book world back in the day.
Dude, and the fact that they're rebooting it, I'm so for it.
Oh, dude, definitely. Because that'll bring in the horror aspect of the vampires and the Marvel Universe and stuff. It'll be great. Especially with the way that they went dramatic filming with the whole Netflix series. Like, if you bring that effect to Marvel for like the way they did Daredevil or the way they did Punisher, and you put that into Blade, oh man, dude, it's gonna be super good. Like real, like 30 Days a Night kind of movies. But like that's the concept, is like they're trying to, these superhero movies becoming a genre all on its own, is trying to make it to where you can make a seriously great superhero film and it go for awards. Right now, Wonder Woman is up for a bunch of awards. And it is garbage. Hot garbage. That movie, I wanted to say that it's a movie that you can play in the background. If you're not paying attention to it, then yes. Good question, Ozzy. If you remember the first season of Luke Cage, the villain of that is going to be playing Blade.
Yeah, I forget. Let me get
the RZA dude from the Wu-Tang Clan. Oh man, get these fucking hands, boy.
Dude, honestly,
the man with the iron
fist. If RZA was the new Blade,
I'd be for it, dude.
Five viewings of that movie all over it.
I bet, dude. I already bought 5 tickets for the VIP seating, dude. I'm gonna rent out the whole theater just for myself, dude.
Okay, now forgive me. Mahershala Ali is the new Blade.
Ali. Yep. Yeah, he's gonna be doing the new Blade. And dude, the guy's a great actor. Amazing chops on that dude for acting.
Yo, yeah. I mean, I thought he was beautiful in Cottonmouth.
Oh yeah, dude, he was so good. No, not Cotton. No, he wasn't Cottonmouth, was he?
I think it was Cottonmouth. Yeah.
No, he was the first villain, the guy that was the Kingpin.
Yeah, no, he was Cottonmouth. That's what his code name was Cottonmouth.
But Cottonmouth was the second season, wasn't he?
No.
Who was the second? Who was the villain in the second season? I could swear that he was the second one.
No, it is. Bushmaster.
Bushmaster was the second. William Stryker, right?
No.
Diamondback.
Diamondback was the actual villain of season 1. Bushmaster is like the huge, Haitian guy who just beats the snap out of Luke Cage for like half of that season.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. Cottonmouth, dude. Cornell Stokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is the guy that's going to be playing Blade. And dude, he does an amazing job.
Oh yeah, no, dude, he's a beautiful actor.
Beautiful actor. I think there's no way they're gonna mess this up. And if they in some way, because there's a lot of people that are asking for Wesley Snipes to come back and be the new Wesker.
That'd be cool.
That would be super cool.
That'd be cool. I'd fall in line with that.
I think that would be great. I mean, for them to pay some type of homage, because Wesley Snipes again did an amazing job as Blade, and I guarantee they're going to be working some way with him.
Yeah.
But going back. So yeah, the Wonder Woman movie,
trash.
No, man, I don't want to be mean because remember that this was during a time when I think I told you about this last week. Where at the beginning of the movie, when everybody's in the mall and everybody's not wearing masks, it really kind of hit me in a way that I was kind of like, wow, dude, they've been filling this.
Me and Audrey were talking about that not too long ago. We were like, dude, you realize that the pandemic officially hit, was stated to have hit the US a year ago?
A year ago, dude.
Yeah, dude.
It's been a year since the masks have been in order, the stay at home.
Yeah.
Children that are below the age of 7 or 8, maybe even 10. This is
they're gonna read about this.
Yeah, they're not gonna remember that last year. They're not gonna think about this until a couple of years, and they're gonna be like, wow, I lived through that and I can't remember. There was a time in our lives where everything was just normal, and now it's so crazy.
Yeah, dude. Really.
But I was watching that film, and at the beginning when everybody's at the mall and just kind of moving around and you don't see masks, I was a bit taken, damn, when did they start filming this again? And then lo and behold, we
were wild back then.
Yeah. So that this movie has been kind of it's taken a while for them to put it out.
Yeah.
And then for DC to come out and say, hey, you know what? This is one of our A films, dude, our AAA film, man. We're going to put this out in theaters. Let's just put it out in streaming. Let's be the fucking first people to put a AAA superhero movie into a streaming format. That was a big fucking move too.
Yeah.
So yeah, the movie may be bad for what it is. And I think again, this falls back at the attitude of Warner Brothers for owning DC. Because they're more, the higher up guys are just look, we just want to make money. We don't give a shit. And then they'll take it for as it is. They just want to make cash. You could see this as a cash grab.
It really is.
Yeah. There's no fundamental creativity to the film itself. It's very cookie cutter superhero film.
I can understand that. Really.
But they did register it for a junk load of awards, dude.
Well, because it's a DC movie, it's a comic book movie, and that's what people want right now.
It's the only film in that genre right now, film, full length feature film. It's the only one that's out that's of that nature. Marvel just released.
I did hear that they're making an N95 mask. Yes.
Razor?
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, getting at that money, dude. RBGs, dude, all over the place.
Yeah,
Let's put some
it's
green
called
in there.
it's called Project Hazel.
Oh no, man, that's super fucking crazy. No, but it's the only comic book style film that's like this right now. That would have been out in the market by itself. I mean, the last film that was like this was it would have been Black Widow. It would have competed against Black Widow if we break it down.
Yeah, and I think Black Widow would have fucking destroyed
Yeah,
this movie.
You know, I yesterday. Okay, well, look, we'll get into that in a little bit. Is the movie worth the price of it on streaming services?
At the moment, no.
No, I don't think so. Could it be where you can get it, and if you can find it somewhere else and stream it, or maybe at a theater? I mean, if you want to get the nostalgia of going to a theater right now, I think it would be something cool to go watch. But don't get your hopes up in it being like like as depth of a film as Marvel has been making in the last couple of months or years, actually. But it's like a casual, like you could take your children for this and they'll love it. Oh, look, mom, there's a giant cat lady on TV fighting Wonder Woman. Yay. Like, yeah, I could see that. So like, this goes back to that question that I asked really, really early. Is the film, do you feel like Wonder Woman 1984 is a film based more on the casual moviegoer or the like casual moviegoer or casual
100%? Because like to say otherwise, I think would just be fucking stupid.
I need to projector for movies would be nice. I really just like this movie. I feel like it's more of a cash grab than it actually being about the continuity of the universe. I don't feel like there's no growth coming out of this film. Look, I'll even ask a crazier question to people out there that are watching. Usually at the end of the film, I don't even care how the film ended, which was Wonder Woman is getting her ass kicked by wind and things flying at her after she fought Cheetah, and she's so weak from after fighting this chick that she goes in there and the wind's blowing her back and she's flying, and this guy's like all politician on the big screen, which that doesn't make any sense either. She then slides the lasso underneath his leg like a snake because there's no way for her to twirl it and throw it. And then he kind of like, she tells through him using the lasso is able to connect to everyone else, listening to Maxwell Lord using this. I don't know how to explain it, but like a particle beam technology device that can send control particles or like throughout every screen on the earth, which doesn't make sense because it's even on computer screens.
Mm-hmm.
So like he's able to kind of do like one of those like news flash. Like imagine that popping up on your screen, on your television screen, and on your computer at the same time. Like that doesn't make sense, right? And being that it's 1984 technology, and that this was made because apparently Reagan was part of the
administration at the time,
Star Wars or whatever, like it doesn't make a lot of sense because that shit's not even like that wasn't even real out of that time. But I guess comic books. Let's
Reagan was the president in 1984.
Yeah, let's wipe that off as comic book talk. Yeah, let's just be like, hey, look at this. Yeah, they were building this.
Your mom said hi. Say hi. Huh? Your mom said hi. Say hi back.
Oh, hi, mom. Oh, my mom's watching. I'm nervous. No, but like, okay, so they have this weird technology from the 80s, and it doesn't make any sense because it wasn't really there to begin with. But then she wraps her lasso around his leg, which is supposed to kind of just compel him to tell the truth. But through that, she's telling her truth, and people can then hear her speak.
Yeah.
Can she do that with her lasso?
Not that I've been aware of.
I've never seen that done. And then like there was just no physical altercation, but if there's anything weirder than that is what happens to Maxwell Lord at the end of the story? Like, why is it like throughout history in the Justice League or anything else, no one knew who Wonder Woman was? Batman, the greatest detective on the planet, who is probably the dumbest greatest detective in the Justice League movie or in the Batman versus Superman movie.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mom. I love you. My mom's like, you're doing good, Chris. Yes.
Make good choices.
Doing good, Chris. Thank you, Mom. I got to put that up. That was super funny. But going back to the thing I was saying, why is it that the greatest detective in the planet and Superman being the oldest gentleman on the world or whatever the fuck he is, however, when he got here, why is it that no one knew of Wonder Woman, even though everyone was talked to by her about the wishes in 1984? How come no one remembered her in the Superman Batman movie?
That's why I was like, dude, this movie raised more questions than it answered, you know?
Yeah, it messed up a lot when it came to the continuity, and we were just talking about that too, being the flying ability.
Yeah,
Like
you know, like why is it that she could fly in this movie, but in Justice League, that's just a very glossed over.
She's hopping around. She hops out of London or whatever she does at the ending of her Wonder Woman movie, which I mean, you can cop off as the ending of the original Wonder Woman movie, it being that it was an older film, like the ending was based in an older time. Maybe it was before 1974. Maybe it was before 1984 or whatever the crap timeline it was. But the Justice League movie, you can't. Like that is literally like up to date times, and she's still hopping around, not doing flying around. And then of course the plane and all this other stuff. But how is it that the whole world forgot about her? Again, even though she's all over the news, even though she was recorded in the mall for a split second, nonetheless, because she takes out all the security devices. But at 100%, we know that she's the person that stopped Maxwell Lord. But like no one, it's so confusing. It is so confusing. And this goes again. This will be my last question because this movie is just, like you said, it just raises more questions. At the end of the film, Maxwell Lord then renounces all his wishes and all this stuff. So that means his wish to be the wishing stone would be taken away too, right? That would be the theory. Like it would be taken away, right, Triggs?
Yeah, like you would think that would be the case, right?
Yeah, but then he's like, I renounce all my wishes. He says it super fast. I renounce my wishes because I got to go find my kid. So then he leaves only for a presidential helicopter to fly him to a lawn where his kid was hiding and there was like devastation everywhere. How is it that this man who literally almost nuked the entire planet and killed everybody on it because of this wishing shit, how is he able to take a presidential chopper by choice to go grab his kid out of a lawn and not get arrested as soon as all that shit happened? He was on national television. Everyone saw him with that particle beam technology stuff. I could understand and say like, hey, you know what? But Wonder Woman was never shot on screen by that particle shit, so no one knew it was her. Okay, cool. We'll cop that out if nobody remembers Wonder Woman or a voice of Wonder Woman coming out and telling people to do some shit. Or they didn't see the mall security device or whatever. But how is it that this guy still had the ability to tell the president, hey, I'm going to go take your chopper because my kid's in a park somewhere that I don't know where, but I'm just going to fly to a park and he's going to be on the outskirts in the field.
Yeah.
How? Like, it just seems that they wrote a bunch of scenes that at the end they were like, well, how's that going to work? And they were like, well, we'll just write this in. Like, we'll just write this in. Oh, well, how does she become Cheetah, the animal cheetah from the stories? We'll just say that we believe the apex predator is a cheetah, not a lion, not a tiger. You know, way bigger cats, stronger and more fierce, animal kingdom shit. But we'll just have it be a cheetah because it's sleek. Because it's sleek and aerodynamic.
Sleek, bro.
Yeah, because this is the way. Yeah, because this is the way. So like on a rating scale, dude, on a rating scale, 1 being completely horrible, 10 being at least Marvel Civil War. Where would you Winter Soldier putting
soft 6?
About a 6?
Soft 6.
A very, very soft 6. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of say like, I would possibly say like a 6, maybe a 7. If it wasn't for the price that HBO Max is charging to watch it, I would have to say it's probably like a soft 6, like a 6 minus. Yeah, you see, like even Oz 4.8. Like it kind of ranges in the middle, and I feel like this should have been a freebie. Like this should have been like DC being like, hey, you know what, dude? Like, if you just get HBO Max, you could see this. We're not even gonna charge you for it. This is like straight up. If you buy HBO Max, you can watch this shit.
So speaking of HBO Max,
Oh,
and you know how we were talking about, you know, releases for, you know, certain certain movies and stuff like that.
Okay.
So Godzilla vs. Kong is actually now going to release on March 26th in theaters and HBO Max.
Oh, damn. I might have to actually buy HBO Max now.
I'll talk to I'll talk to the lady, see if she's cool with us sending you the
link or the password.
Yeah.
Right? We're gonna totally cop that. We should have a live watch party, dude, online.
Bet, dude.
Real low key in a Discord or something. Only invite through Messenger and shit. That'd be super cool. But yeah, dude, I just feel like the Wonder Woman 1984 movie, there was a lot that they could have done. And they chose to not, because I'm going to cop it up because of the situation that's going on in the pandemic. That's what I'm going to cop it up to. HBO Max is way better than and he said I charge $20 like Disney Plus for movies. I don't quite understand. I know that HBO Max offers a awesome list of movies.
Oh, it does, dude.
And series,
what we call it, dude? What is it? The Big Bang Theory is on HBO Max, and dude, I've been watching that a lot.
Oh, okay. So Robert says HBO Max is way better for a little charge of $20 for a freaking movie, plus paying the $8 a month. How much was it to rent the Wonder Woman film? If I'm not mistaken, it's probably a little bit more, huh? Disney Plus charges like new releases, like premium. Okay, so that's the thing. But the track record. Let's talk about the track record. If I was going to pay right now for the release of Wonder Woman compared to the release of Black Widow, I know 100% that more than likely Black Widow is going to be worth my money.
Yeah.
DC's track record of making films has been up and down. Out of all how many movies has DC made? 9? Let's say 9, 10?
If that.
If that. Two of them have only been prominent. Shazam to me and Wonder Woman. That's it. And the only reason Shazam is up there is because of the fact that it's just got comedy. If by itself, it would have been boring to me. Nonetheless, it would have been boring. But it had a really good comedy to it. The main character guy, Zach, Efron or whatever his name is, he did a great job. It's not Zac Efron. I'm kidding. But yeah, I just feel like you get your worth out of that. And then Disney Plus, it's got its Pixar's. The streaming possibilities right now with what we're going to talk about in a little bit is fantastic. Marvel has all its series. Disney has all its stuff series. It's going to have some stuff coming out. It's got some exciting stuff coming. And I know HBO is going to be coming up after it, but I think DC has a lot of growing. And then I got the hiccups. I don't even know why. That's so horrible. But after watching Wonder Woman 1984, like that really takes a lot of wind out of the sail when it comes to like if Disney comes out and says they have another spectacular movie coming out. Like it's very hard, which is like what we were talking about earlier, where I told you I'm not at all excited in any way for the Snyder Cut. Like if they're going to release a Snyder Cut, I hope they don't release it in parts. Like heaven help me, dude, if they release it in like a 3-part, 4-part thing.
Oh, dude, if they did that, I would completely just
I would
I'm done.
I would disown DC, man. It'd be such a stupid move if they did that. And I kind of feel like they're going to do it because they were talking about the Disney Snyder, or no, the HBO, the Snyder Cut being 4 hours long.
Fuck it, dude. Give it to me.
Yeah, but if they cut it up, and they're like first 2-hour film, and then 2-hour film later for the whole Snyder cut coming in a week or whatever, I'd be like, nah, dude, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Black Widow is gonna come out the same day as the theater and Disney Plus the same way. Yeah, but you know what? I'm not gonna lie, Mulan, I didn't like it. I was not a big fan of the Mulan, the live action. But like I said, that's not Marvel. Like that's the Disney, them doing all of the Disney live action films. I think Aladdin was probably the best one. Like, but even that, I could go back and watch the animated film way more than the movie. So yeah, I mean, it goes to show, like, we know for sure Marvel will put good stuff out. DC right now, HBO Max, I feel is worth it. But Wonder Woman, if you have to pay a premium charge for that, I don't feel like it's worth it.
I think that's fair.
Kyle hits it right on the fucking
they
right
they are Lord of the Rings.
4 hours. What are they thinking? Is this Lord of the Rings? Kyle, you and me both, brother. I don't know why people have all this crazy faith in Zack Snyder as a movie director when it comes to this. Yes, The Watchmen is amazing, but I don't feel like Joss Whedon did that much more different to what he wanted as a show. Plus, not only that, Whedon has experience in making proper hero films. It may not have been his vision, but I guarantee the majority of shots he did were the same way. So
my only retort to that would be Age of Ultron. That one was the weakest of the
still a better film than DC's ever done.
Well, I will give that to you.
Yeah,
that
dude,
does
like,
not
I mean,
necessarily make it that much better.
Look, check it. This is the other thing. If you were to give me the rights to make Justice League recut films, and I told you, well, man, I can't do much. I'm gonna need $14 billion to do a remake, because I'm gonna have to do a whole other movie practically. And they were like, cool, take it. Here's how much did they give him? $72 million?
Oh, fuck if I know, dude.
Dude, if you do fucking Starship Troopers, one of the greatest movies in my opinion, which is weird as fuck, was filmed with like $150,000. If you're to put a budget of $73 million on it, you can make a whole fucking Lord of the Rings trilogy out of Starship Troopers. And that's the problem, is they're really just going to take Justice League, the 80% of the film, add like, what, $73 million worth of extra shots, and say, this is what we wanted. Fuck, I wish I could do that. Imagine Cyberpunk right now saying, hey, you know what? We're going to release the Snyder cut of Cyberpunk. We're going to take that game off the market. We're going to casually put another $175 million on it. And we're going to put out the way it should have been done, because we messed it up. And it's like, yo, you're going to put 175 million. You might as well make part 2 and just make part 2 better. You know what I mean? Like, just make another one and make it what it was, dude. Fucking take all that $70 million and spend it on the Flashpoint movie, for fuck's sakes.
Well, I do fuck Flashpoint. Like, I still not a big fan of
do that on the first film you watched. In DC, just like, they don't give any shits, dude. They'll be like, you know what, dude? Let's make the first Flash movie Flashpoint. This is the biggest character arc of his whole story. Let's not even build to it. Let's just give it to him the first 15 minutes. And then the rest.
That's exactly what they did with the fucking Green Lantern movie. They were like, "Oh yeah, dude, let's make
Parallax."
Fucking yeah, let's give Green Lantern his most like pivotal like one of like his second most pivotal like
story
ever.
No lube, no like kisses, no foreplay, just straight to it, dude. It was so crazy. But yeah. Let's stop talking about this crazy stuff, because it's going to give me like a weird anxiety, dude, if I keep talking about Wonder Woman 1984. It doesn't matter what year it came out. It's still going to be like, on a scale of 1 to 10, I kind of consider it like a high 5.
That's why I said a soft 6.
Yeah, you take it for what it's worth.
Robert, do you remember 84?
Survive the 4-hour shit. Ain't the 10 commandments like 7 hours of something? What? Oh, condiments like 7 hours of something. I don't know. Shit, I'll do IMAX.
Ain't the 10 commandments like 7 hours? Oh, the 10 commandments was long as fuck. I know what he's talking about. It's a movie.
Like the movie, The 10 Commandments?
Yeah.
Like from like Charlton Heston 10 Commandments?
Yeah, dude.
How the fuck are you gonna reference that with the Zack Snyder's Justice League?
Because this is long.
That doesn't, dude. There was no fucking dark side coming out trying to conquer the planet. It's not Planet of the Apes and Ten Commandments put together, dude.
Hey, man. You don't know
Hey,
that?
some people believe that shit. Some people believe that shit to be pretty epic. Okay, I'll take that. 10 Commandments. Okay, cool. But I don't know. That was like I think my grandma made me sit through that movie when I was like 4, which was like when the world was black and white. Which now helps me to segue into the next thing I'm going to talk about. No spoilers though. But yo, what did you think of WandaVision?
You were right in saying that it was a very slow start. I agree with that wholly.
Oh, you saw my post online.
Yeah.
On Facebook?
But with that being said, that show has the potential for fucking greatness, dude.
Dude, it's beautiful, man. What they were doing these first 2 episodes, like I dug the cinematic art that they were bringing to life with this film.
Yeah.
Like if they wanted to, they can make an entire show of like an I Love Lucy sitcom and make it work, even though we know it's corny as fuck and that's just the way TV used to be back then, because that was the living style and jokes and all that stuff. But it was wholeheartedly a good show.
Yeah, it was.
Like I was literally like laughing my eyes, like crying, dude, when it was the episode of the I'm just gonna say the magic show, which is in part 2 episode. Like that whole entire vibe had like every cinematic sitcom feel vibe that I'd ever seen when I was a kid. It reminded me of like the I Love Lucy's and especially Bewitched. Bewitched was like the one that it reminded me of so hardcore. But it was gorgeous, dude. Like it was gorgeous. I was super blown away on how well that they did this. My biggest thing is I waited up till 3 a.m.
Chris, I'm gonna have to cut you off right here, man. I just had something hit my desk right now.
Wow.
This is not a drill, but the 7 Deadly Sins season 5 is already on YouTube.
Like the whole season? Or like the
episode 1.
Episode 1. Oh, very nice, dude. Okay, cool. Guys, you heard it here first before you hear it anywhere else. Season 5.
That's a thing. So that's happening
that's
right
literally
after
Trigger's like favorite thing.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Cool, man. Well, if anybody wants to go check it out later, then you got it.
Please continue. But yeah, I'm like,
so you're like, sorry, dude. I literally thought something happened. Trigger, you scared me.
I'm at my desk right now. This is not a drill, but
you scared the bejesus out of me, boy. Yes, I was blown away. I was blown away by the artistic talent that Marvel pulled off with these first 2 episodes. Like that's pretty much
what I really liked in this. Really liked in this was that.
No spoilers
for me. Yeah, no spoilers. But for me, 7 Deadly Sins season 5 is on YouTube. Episode
just
1
released right now.
Is that it showed the acting chops of Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen.
Oh, dude, yes.
I saw that and I was like, okay. So I'm gonna disregard the story right now. And I'm going to look strictly at the cinematics of all this and the acting chops. And this is, dude, I'm a 7-year-old kid watching reruns of I Love Lucy again.
Yep.
And then, episode 2, I'm like, yet again, 7 years old watching reruns of the Brady Bunch.
Yep.
And I was like, dude, this is good. Now in episode 2, I'm going to have to say that the shots were a little bit more modern. Because in I Love Lucy, it was a 3 camera shot. That was it. You had 3 angles, and that's all. That was it. Now in in episode 2, you could see pans. You can see that they're following actors and stuff like that. So it was cool. It was very, very nice. But I kind of felt that it took away from the Brady Bunch-esque style of filming. But that's just me being a nitpick. That's all it is. That is not at all to take away from the fact that episode 2 was a fucking amazing episode.
Mm-hmm. It's just I feel where the
Dude,
reason
honestly, you
I say-
should. You should. I definitely understand where you're coming from. Um, it- Kyle, fucking dude, I'm telling you, bro, you will not be disappointed with these first two episodes.
um the only thing, this is just going off on me on a personal level when it comes to watching the series. I think it was beautiful all the way through. I was hyped. The hype is real. The hype
100%.
the hype is super real. I just feel like it fell short on doing a little bit more explanation of what's really going on.
That I can agree with.
Yeah, like I
I,
just feel
I
like
think I think what's gonna happen is they're kind of gonna do a bit of a Mandalorian sort of thing, and they're gonna kind of leave the bigger explanations for like mid-season.
yeah. I kind of feel like, I mean, these guys, they're becoming masters of doing these streaming
But then
services.
again, dude, you also got to realize, man, like the same people who own Disney or who own Marvel, are the same people who own LucasWorks. So
I mean, and it's like I said, they're becoming masters of their trades when it comes to making these streaming services.
100%,
Yeah, so like
100%. Dude, right now,
we can,
Marvel can do no wrong when it
yeah,
comes.
we can respect the idea that they're gonna get the job done. It's just me personally, like I kind of feel like everybody else when you have a champion that's up at the very top and you know this person is doing an amazing job, there's sooner or later that they get their Mike Tyson moment. Where they have a moment where they completely mess up and everything falls off the radar. Every champion, once you get to a certain level, people want to see you lose.
I totally understand what you mean by that.
Mhm.
I kind of hope that it's, I was gonna say Robert Duran, but even then he had his, Mike Tyson moment,
Mhm.
fighting against Sonny Lewis,
Mhm.
with the whole no more thing. And I definitely get what you mean. For me, it's kind of one of those, like, they've kind of already had those moments already.
Okay.
Like look at Age of Ultron and Thor Dark World. Those were trash movies.
Like Iron Man 3.
Yeah, Iron Man
Iron Man
3,
2,
and all those are set, almost within the same little time period as well, in the same few years. And
Like
so that's why I'm kind of just like, dude, I mean, they may have already had it, and then on top of that, Captain Marvel, I don't care what anyone says, is one of the weakest MCU movies to date.
Yeah. I keep telling people that the release of Captain Marvel was, I bet you that they wanted to release it more closer to like the original casting, Dark World timeline in the Marvel universe.
I get that. I
It
really
was one of those kind of movies.
Yeah.
It was like a slow grind origin story.
Yeah.
But like I just kind of feel like I'm not saying the series already sucks.
No.
I just feel with the promise that they made that the Scarlet Witch is going to kind of lay the path between all the next iteration of Phase 4 or Phase 5 or wherever we're going into. Like, I feel like it's a lot to cover in 9 episodes or 8 episodes.
See, and that's the thing, dude. I'd have to kind of take away from that, that from what we're gathering and what the rumors have been stating, is that I don't think that she might be the pivotal role in all of it. I think she's just going to be the beginning, kind of like how Iron Man was the beginning of like the Avengers.
Okay.
Like he was the setup for the Avengers initiative, essentially.
I mean, I could see that.
I mean, there's no way that they're going to cover that whole Avengers initiative in just a single movie for Iron Man.
No, of course.
They needed to, but they did have him set the base and the foundation for it, and I think that's kind of what might end up happening with WandaVision. That she'll set the base and the foundation for this next multiversal, time jump that we very well may be happening right now.
I can see that. Yeah, but so far, I think the first initial reaction for WandaVision was
so good for me, dude.
Yeah, it was a full exception, man. Like I'm excited to see what happens next week. I think it was a good move that Marvel decided to release 2 episodes instead of 1 as the debut. She'll be the setup for the multiverse. Yes. Well, Doctor Strange was the initial setup for it. But she'll be the one that kind of initiates it in a bigger way.
Yeah.
I think Oz just asked a good question too. Is it a slow buildup? I see it as it's going to be a slow buildup, But I think this is also a way for them in the first 2 episodes, because they did. The thing is like maybe by next week, after we get the next episode, we'll have a discussion about it with people that want to kind of catch up in the last like maybe 30 minutes of our next episode. And we'll talk a little bit of spoilers and references and Easter eggs, because there's a lot. There's already a lot that they've already covered in the first couple of episodes. You can go search them out if you want. We're not going to discuss them here, but for now, there's a lot of things that are kind of in the air that we're exciting to see come to fruition on screen with the WandaVision. But
I love the intro. I loved the intro of the second episode.
Mm-hmm.
It was so what's that fucking what was that? What was that TV show with the witch in the 80s?
It would have been either Bewitched or
Bewitched. Yes, Bewitched.
Yeah, Bewitched.
It reminded me a lot of Bewitched.
Mm-hmm. And it's good. It's good. I really hope by next episode we get a little bit more story development of what actually is going on.
I agree, because like a lot of things are left very, very ambiguous.
Yeah, because we get the idea of them being able to go through different timelines and the powers and blah, blah, blah. Like we get that. But why? Like, yeah. I like that they're able to do these type of effects. I love that they're able to do these type of effects. Like seeing this type of CGI in a show rather than a movie is amazing.
Yeah.
Is amazing, because it's literally like I can't tell the difference right now between it being a show and a movie. Where,
yeah,
like,
no, really. The investors are just like, you know what, here,
take it, take my money,
go for it, do what you do.
So it was fantastic. Marvel again did a great one. 2 episodes, very fun to watch. Highly recommended if you got some time on your hand, like our boy Ozzy here. He's gonna watch them tomorrow. If you get an opportunity, you got some free time this weekend. You got the episodes I believe are about 30 minutes long. I wish they were a little bit longer, but they're fun.
Man, I was hoping for a 45-minute. Episode 1 was 37 minutes, and I think episode 2 was 32 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, they're roughly in the 30-minute range. Yeah, Rob, we totally love that too. We don't want to put too many spoilers on. We're not trying to ruin it for anybody. We want to give everybody the opportunity to watch it. It's only been 1 day.
Yeah, dude, the infomercials were perfect.
Yo, did you get this crazy vibe? I did, but then again, you're a respectable, young, independent person that's out there working in the world. That this was almost like a full-on Marvel event release. That there was a lot of people waiting up till 3 a.m. waiting for it.
Yeah.
Dude, that is so amazing, dude.
Yeah, dude, all over my Twitter feed. That
was amazing.
People were like, bro, I'm going to be dead as fuck tomorrow for when I go.
I had one of my friends, Adonis, dude. I don't know if you remember Adonis.
Yeah.
He hit me up last night. He's like, dude, I'm at work. I'm going to call in. I'm going to call in sick. I'm going to call in because I want to go home and watch it. I was like, don't do that, guys. Don't do that. But you know what? This totally feels like the new variation of what it was to wait in line for like Star Wars movies and Batman and all that stuff when we were younger.
It is, dude. It really is. You know, you get like, that. It hit me you get that just little bit of cinema that just really hits home, and you're kind of just like, bro, fuck, man. Like you miss doing that. You miss, staying up at midnight to watch, to get your favorite game at, on pre-release, to stay up, at midnight to go watch, your favorite movie, for advanced screenings and stuff. It was really nice.
I really felt it last night, dude.
Unfortunately, my 32-year-old ass was like, "Hey, man, seriously, you have a very fucking busy day tomorrow. Don't fuck around."
Catatonic in bed already, just now.
Yeah. No, dude, my bitch ass was fucking out by 11:30.
Excellent, man. Excellent. Well, before we end up the show, Triggs, what do you got coming on for the weekend, man? What are you going to be doing? Give me reference.
What am I going to be doing, man? I'm actually going to, I am going to get fitted for my tux. I am going to, do a brush order on that. So for the people who have been keeping up, and who have me on Facebook as a friend, all know that next Saturday, me and Andre are tying the knot.
Congratulations, brother! Congratulations.
Thank you very much. My co-host Chris and his roommate will be there, Christella. we're very, very excited. You know, I mean, I couldn't be more excited. The nervousness hasn't really hit me a whole lot. And reason being is just because like I think I'm just so in with like other things that are going on with the wedding. But you know, not to get like too personal about it or anything like that, but we just got our official ceremony script back. And Audrey was very, very, you know, integral in writing it. And so when she sent it to me, you know, I'm at work, you know, and so she sent me the email and I was reading it. And, you know, I got to thank you. Thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you, man.
Yes, Oz the 23rd. You know, I was reading it and like I was, you know, reading it in my head, and then, you know, I could see the wedding. I could see her walking down the aisle. You know, I could see, you know, me and her saying all this stuff. Oh man, I do too, Merle. I do too. And you know, like I started tearing up a little bit. And, you know, I'm like, you know, I'm at work, and so I'm like, you know, fucking clearing my eyes out and shit like that. And so I'm like, I texted her right after, and I was like, well, goddamn, kid, you know, like I'm definitely crying like a little bitch at our wedding. That's happening. I'm actually, I'm gonna see if I can get somebody to stream at least the ceremony, you know, for everyone who obviously can't make it. You know, so at least, you know, you can be there on one of the greatest days of my life.
An electronic spirit.
Yes.
That's super amazing, man. Well, it's gonna be a great time, man. We're really excited, man.
Man, we'll see what we can do about putting it up on the average voice, you know.
Oh, dude, definitely, dude. I told you, hopefully I get the opportunity to take my camera. Let's try to take some pictures of you guys and get some really nice
By
shots.
all means, brother. By all means, you are more than welcome.
Yeah, so
more than welcome.
Really good.
You know, I do have a professional photographer who is going to be out there, but you know, I mean, more lenses are not at all going to bother me.
The more the merrier, bro.
Yeah, dude, seriously. You know, I mean, I've known Chris fucking like 13 years now.
Yeah. So okay, so that's what you got going on. So any with the conversation that we had today, do you have any recommendations for anybody when it comes to the stories or about any of the characters that you saw or talked about the Wonder Woman 1984?
Wonder Woman 1984.
That I did.
Read Infinite Crisis.
Yes, the entire series.
Yes, read Infinite Crisis. Granted, this is not a Wonder Woman focused story, but it is a great one nonetheless. Dark Side War is another one. Death Metal right now, because she's like, you know, obviously she's part of the Trinity, right? But I mean, her ending is just fantastic. And as far as, you know, like WandaVision goes, anyone who gives a fuck, read House of M. Yeah, there's also one more, and this one, you're the one who mentioned it to me, and I totally forgot about this story where they get stuck in a sitcom.
Yeah, the 6. I think it's like the 6 arc. It's like the 6 Vision arc.
Let me.
But it's him and his other family, the one that he creates out of himself. Well, going off of what Trigger's going to be looking for, that comic that he's looking for, the arc. The one that I recommend for getting a great idea of of the opportunity that DC missed with what they could have done with Maxwell Lord's character is from the comic book Superman series, Countdown to Infinity Crisis. The story is called Sacrifice. That's where he ended up taking over Superman's mind. It's during the Olmec project. Remember, he takes over the Olmec project, the Brother Eye project.
Yep.
Where Batman's thing, and he's doing a bunch of crazy things. Has a bunch of the the robots that end up going after the metahumans and stuff. He's such an awesome villain in this, dude. Such an awesome villain. If you guys get the opportunity and you have a way to get to DC Comics and you have an awesome library, or maybe even have that opportunity to get this stuff, or even visiting our local comic book shops. You guys got Kaboom's in Myth, which also just opened up their arcade. It sounds like a great time. Congratulations to Ramsey and Marla, and happy belated birthday to Marla V. If you have an opportunity, go check it out. Like if you have, I wish I could put the link on it, but actually, let me see if I can link this story. I'll put it right off of Amazon, dude. Here we go. If you guys want to check out where you can find that,
Oh yeah, the literally it's just called Vision and the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, Vision and the Scarlet Witch. Yeah, it's a pretty basic. I think it's like 6 arcs. It does represent really what they're going off of too with the referencing in the show. There are other stuff, and that's why we say the House of M. You're gonna get a lot of mixtures between a lot of different things. So yeah, just try your best. It shows that an error occurred right now at the moment for me about posting, so I'll have to wait a moment. But I think on the link, it should show the link to the comic book that I recommend for if you have an opportunity to get into some type of DC library. The comic book is called Sacrifice. It's a really great book, and it really does show how epic of a villain Maxwell Lord can be and what he was in the comic. So you'll see why they referenced him very easy. The other thing that I'm going to be doing this weekend, Triggs, believe it or not, I'm going to be playing the fuck out of Scott Pilgrim.
Dude, so no shit. Yesterday I was watching Big Bang Theory, and you know, Audrey from the other room, because no shit, our room is lit. I opened up that door, and the next door over is our room. And you know, usually I keep this door open, and she was like, "Babe, can I get Scott Pilgrim?" And I was like, "Go for it."
Yes. What'd you end up? What did you end up buying it for? Oz says he bought it for the PS4, which is the same thing that I bought it for. So maybe me and Oz will jump on together, because the game does have multiplayers up to 3 people.
That's fucking sick, dude.
So cool, dude.
Well, if that's the case, man, add up Audrey and have her fucking jump in with you.
Is she on the PS4 or the PS5 or?
She has it for her Switch.
Okay, very, very cool. I got to see if it's cross-platform. It'd be great if it was. If it's not, then I don't know if I will be able to.
Well, I mean, we have a PS4 and a PS5. It's not going to bother us.
So maybe we'll be able to do that. I want to stream it up. I know that there's a bunch of people that probably won't be able to get the opportunity to play it, and probably at least want to check it out. But yeah, man, I'm going to be playing the fuck out of that game this weekend.
Dude, Monster Hunter Rise is the one thing that I'm looking forward to when it comes to Switch right now. Like, for a year, I want to say for like a solid year and a half, the Switch was like my main console.
Okay. How was the demo for Rise?
Dude, so fucking good.
What is fucking good? World and Wise.
Well, World is very online, like is supposed to be very MMO-ish. Mm-hmm. Rise is like a continuation of the story overall.
Has the game mechanics?
The mechanics seem very similar.
Okay, so it's very kind of like sticking to its original guns kind of thing.
Not necessarily. There's a lot of Monster Hunter World, because now there's 2 joysticks, so now there's 2 points of movement. Okay, it's the very first one was very like Resident Evil. It was very like,
yeah, that's what I hate. That's what I hated.
You know, and so like, I mean, there are ways to look around. You know, you had your joystick, but you had to use your directional pad to physically move, and it was a pain in the fucking dick, dude. Pain in the dick. Comfortable then. Yeah, so with Monster Hunter World, like there's a full like tilt pan movement, you know, a free look with a movement.
Oh, badass, man, badass. Well, yeah, this weekend I'm probably going to be streaming. I want to stream on Saturdays for playing some of the Scott Pilgrim. Hopefully I get to get online with Oz, who apparently already maxed out his Scott character already. Man, baller, bro. Well, give me a chance to build a little bit, and then we'll jump on and we'll do some multiplayer and rock socks, dude. But yeah, man, I'll be doing that. Call of Duty, for anybody out there that's playing Call of Duty Warzone, they are doing a free zombie event. So right now you can jump on and play zombies for free, as the same way it's kind of been disconnected, like the way they do the Battle Royale Warzone game. And by that, you can get the Warzone game for free right now already. It's out there like the way Fortnite is.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
So that's what I have right now. I just have Warzone. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not sure if I had previously stated this. Here, let's see if I can actually move over my camera. That's correct. Because I have 2 cameras.
Nice.
All right, so this is now my secondary camera, right?
So dark. There you go.
Yeah, there it is. So this one I'm gonna move, and I am going to show you guys something. All right, so everyone has seen my computer more than once, you know. So we have my RAM on this side, right? Now I move over right here. You'll see a little red light right here. That little red light is a secondary DIMM slot. That last and ninth DIMM slot is actually meant for NVMe SSDs, and I have 2 additional ones now. Both of those are a terabyte each. So now I have a max total of 3 terabytes in this computer, on top of the 3 terabytes that I have on a hard drive. And then I'm actually looking at 3 2-terabyte SSDs that I'm mounting in the back of this computer. So for a grand total of about 2, 4, 6, 9 terabytes of storage.
Jeez, man, you better be downloading a crap load of games for no reason.
And porn.
Dude. Not only that, happy 115 day to anybody out there that plays zombies, Treyarch zombies. Happy 115 day. So yeah, this week we got Zombies is free. Cold War Zombies is free for anybody that wants to give it a try, the same way they do Warzone. Warzone finally did a patch. They nerfed the DMR 14, the MAC 10. They're still slamming, but now it gives the opportunity to at least get to fight equally against a person with a DMR using a Kilo or any of the other guns that you like to run. For a while, there was a really, really, really horrible exploit with the DMR 14 from Cold War coming into Modern Warfare. It was murking. There's teams of people running Ghost in that thing and just killing everything on the site, dude. It was just horrible, dude. No recoil, just damage. They finally nerfed it. It feels good again. It feels good to go back to other weapons and to see people getting killed with other weapons now. They fixed the stim glitch, which if you play the game, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. There was a way that you could get the stim, which is the injection as your secondary, to heal you a little bit if you haven't like broken or nothing. They were getting it to where you can do unlimited and you can stay outside of the ring and stay in the gas and not die, and people were exploiting it and cheating. They fixed that. Now I think the only thing people have been able to do is infinite stuns, which is you can get infinite stun grenades with a glitch. That's the only thing they haven't been able to catch it. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, dude. And it ruins the game completely. It's so sad when people exploit these things, no matter how they kind of like try to justify it. So the cheating has kind of gone down a little bit, which is good. So it gives you the opportunity to just play the super hardcore dedicated players, which is like any game right now. Just diehards everywhere, dude. Tryhards. But yeah, if you've been playing Modern Warfare and that's something you've been waiting for, that just got nerfed. The DMR just got nerfed, so be happy about that. And
you know, and it's actually super cool, man, because I actually just got I actually just re-downloaded COD. So like I am like ready to go. I'm fully patched. Yeah, and I'm set.
Advice, dude. I love playing. If you need loadouts, like meta loadouts, just let me know. I'm fucking
bet. I'm down. I'm 100% down.
And yeah, it's kind of like equaled out again, just playing some really difficult players and ranked games and stuff. Yeah, so I'll be online. I'll be doing some streaming this weekend. I know this past week for me, streaming was a little bit difficult. I had a lot of problems with my sleep schedule this week. Real bad, man. If it's possible, you should stream yourself. Alchemy Studios says if it's possible, try your best to see if you can stream Scott Pilgrim. I will definitely do that, dude, because I'm super excited. I've been waiting for this game a long time. We talked about it a couple of weeks.
Dude, man, Chris has been on this for months.
For a while, dude. There's something that I've been missing is the idea of a nice like side-scrolling brawler, dude. Like I miss those kind of games. I miss them, dude. Every time I go to like an arcade like Kabooms, or if I go to what is it, the Flux, I'll always hit up the Ninja Turtle side scroller, dude. I love the Ninja Turtle. Yeah, dude. I always play that shit. Even the Simpsons, dude. The Simpsons back in the day had the best side scroller.
Man, that's a name drop, dude. Fuck.
I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited. Scott Pilgrim's such a great story. The animation is great. I was telling Trigger just a couple of weeks ago that I'm probably going to be looking for an artist to help us make an animated GIF for the bottom of our screen here of me and Trigger doing stuff in games, like kind of like our characters jumping around. And the idea is either to make us look like Mega Man X, like our characters, like the way we have them in our video.
Look like Mega Man X, please, please. I mean,
me, that variation is like, I think the 32-bit, the art is 32-bit, which gives you the idea of shading and a little bit more like clean, like looks rather than the old Nintendo, the old like 16-bit. 8-bit.
Yeah.
Like the opportunity, but the animation, we want to make it to where just like the bottom of our screen right now is showing the first level of the Mario Super Mario Brothers from the Nintendo. We want to make it to where it looks like it's mine and Trigger's character jumping around, shooting guns, halos, and hammers, and all this other crazy. We want to make it look really cool. And we want it to be very similar to the way our characters are in the beginning.
I remember.
I have my Zero tattoo, but they're very good. You guys are like Mega Man bros. I just have a Kuma and Mr. Karate on my shoulder. But yeah, straight up, guys.
You got Wolverine, right? You know, you got just Mr. Green.
Yeah, I have a Wolverine tattoo also, and I have my fucking Metal Gear Solid Les Enfants Terribles on my chest. But yeah, still saving the Metal Gear episode 2. Wonder Woman, like we said, we had a really great time. It missed some stuff, but if you have an opportunity and you want to kind of like see a movie, it's something you could do. Really, really worth it. If you do, definitely get an opportunity, watch WandaVision. It is very, very good.
Worth the time. Worth the hour.
Oh, very, very cool. That would be really cool. Thank you, Uncle B Studios. That'd be awesome, man. We could talk about it. Definitely, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Seriously, we would very much like that.
But straight up, yeah, we got a couple of things in the works that we're trying to work on right now. 2021's is going to be hopefully a lot better. I don't know if you guys saw on my Instagram, but I recently got myself a Rodecaster Pro. I found it online.
So beautiful.
For like $200 or $300 cheaper, dude. Because, dude, it just so happens that it just reminded me of you too, Trigger. That's why I was so excited when I hit you up. So the reason why the guy sold it cheaper, he only used it like a month. And it's a $600 piece of equipment that he sold me for like $300. That's super good. The reason why he sold it so cheap is because he thought it was the XLR.
Oh, the Go XLR?
The Go XLR, which is what Hollywood bought. He thought it was like that. But this machine does so much more. Like for the podcast itself, it does more. For streaming, I mean, it's all right. But for the podcast, this does everything that we've needed for the podcast. Yeah. So like right now, we have some cool stuff in the works. Me and Trigger, I know me, a friend of mine that I game with that I've also done previous work with the Average Boys, Gilbert, the guys from Rip Shoes Productions. We're working on an advertisement media setup that we're going to be doing called Everyday Media. We're going to be helping people get photography, logos, commercials, having a really strong social presence. We're really excited about it. We should be at an event coming up called United Collectors Expo. Let me look that up real quick. United Collectors Expo. Yeah.
Man, I'm not going to lie, dude. I love that you have a mechanical keyboard because I can hear it.
You hear it, right?
Yes,
I love that sound. We're looking at, it's going to be Saturday, January 30th, 2012 or 2021 at the Edinburgh Activity Center. Yeah, 2012. Dude,
Multiverse,
I'm so there. 2012, I'm so there. Fucking Y2K up in here.
Fuck, dude, that's like my heyday of bartending right
there. Yes, it's going. Isn't that? Yes, it's going to be on the 30th in Edinburgh at the Activity Center. We'll be setting up a booth. And yeah, man, it's going to be a real great time. Hopefully, I get the opportunity. I'm trying to get Trigger to go with me. As long as the safety, we're going to be following as much safety precautions as we can. I'm going to be carrying around my cool little bottle of spray alcohol, and hopefully I can have my setup and we can kind of question and interview people there at the show, asking about how they feel about the event, and finally being able to kind of go to something that feels somewhat like a convention in a way, but is very safe, is going to be very limited to how many people are allowed in the building and all that good stuff. But nonetheless, it's going to be a very great time. Hopefully the Average Boys are there. And we're going to have our podcast set up and be able to talk to you guys in person and be able to talk to you and put you on camera with us and audio. So
yeah, man. And like I said, you know, and it's just one of those things where I now that he has this, it just justifies a purchase that I've been wanting for like a month, which is the World of Warcraft edition of the Blue Yeti Pro.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, we were talking about that.
And I was like, and when he told me that you know I could interface with it, and I was like, well, thank you for allowing me now to justify why I want this mic. That is now going to be my travel mic.
Gorgeous, beautiful the way that mic looks, dude. I so want it.
That is now going to be my travel mic.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yes.
Yeah, that's
Fuck, I would
my
get
that's
my
my
back to
travel
get
mic.
one. Fuck, dude, I will totally try to get one too. Just everybody should get one with runes on it, dude. Looking
Yeah,
like a
dude.
Viking
And
microphone.
it's at Best Buy for like $170 right now.
Yeah, it's a pricey microphone, but Blue does not.
I could
They
give a
do not.
fuck, dude. Could give a fuck.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, straight up, we'll be there hopefully on the 30th. We're super excited. Um, yeah, man, can't wait, man, can't wait, guys. Just like every Friday, I personally want to say thank you to our extraordinary listeners for tuning in, hanging out, asking questions, and being a part of this conversation with us. We appreciate you guys so much. If there's anything out there that you guys would like us to cover coming up in the next week on Friday night at 9 p.m. here with the Average Boys, let us know. Hit us up during the week, during any time of the week.
Whenever,
during,
man. Whenever you got some free time,
Facebook.
just reach out on our Facebook and chat. We'll get back to you. I'm gonna see it. I'm constantly on a computer.
I try my best during the week to make sure I try to put up anything that's happening on in our geekdom world, in our geekdom being our kingdom.
Yeah.
I try my best to put up as much news and things that come up like right as soon as I hear about it. I try my best to put it up on the posts. I think the last thing that I heard is Ethan something is coming out as a villain in Moon Knight.
Oh yes, Ethan Hawke. I heard about that.
Yeah, there you go. That was one I wanted.
And you know what? And speaking of that, I hear that Armie Hammer is going to be the villain for Blade.
Oh, I like Armie Hammer.
Yeah, dude.
Cool. I like that name too.
I heard that he's also got some allegations against him. I don't know what about yet. I haven't done any research on it.
I saw a thumbnail about that. I think Phil DeFranco
covered it yesterday.
Covered it a little bit in the last episode.
And you know what, dude? Shout out to that guy. I know he doesn't watch us, but shout out to Phil DeFranco because that guy is the most unbiased news outlet that I have.
Yeah, that guy's been in the business for such a long time. Yeah. I love that dude. He's super crazy. He has his
own hair products and beer products, and I want some.
Yo, this is on a side note, and this is like when me and Triggs are talking about the I guess the business of running a podcast or anything in the social media realm. But I heard that PewDiePie is going to be coming to Facebook.
I'm not surprised. Twitch is dying.
Yeah, I heard, man, that is crazy. That is crazy, dude. That means lo and behold, dude, the Facebook media thing is going to be growing so much more crazy, much more fast. But yeah, man, hopefully, here with us at the Average Boys, this is where we started off because we are a lot more personal with our audience. They're people that we get along with and we almost see on an everyday nature, and we appreciate everybody that comes and watches the show. So hopefully when that comes, we get a little bit more up. We're trying our best to get out there a little bit more. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to ask if you are a part of the chat, if you can, share our stuff, man. Try to see if we can get some more outreach to some people. We already do get some amazing outreach. After every show, me and Triggs get roughly about 300 views, right? Like right out of the track. Sometimes we've had it to be like 1,000 or something straight up. And our engagements with our fans, we'll see you all. Have a good night, man. Our engagements with our fans is so much more awesome. We get about 120, 130, sometimes 150 comments. I think we had up to like 200 comments in one episode. It's so cool just to be able to engage with people while we do these. It keeps the conversation going for us. And if you can, share our stuff, like it, tell people about it. Tell them to join us on Fridays if they really enjoy talking geek stuff.
It's super funny, man, because especially with doing cable and stuff like that, you're gonna meet the occasional nerd, the occasional gamer and stuff like that. And and I've met a few already, and I've already shouted out, the page and stuff like that, and they're like, yeah, dude, that's kind of like what I've been looking for. And one guy was like, oh, well, I want my kids to watch something that isn't on YouTube, and because they're just huge YouTube junkies. And I was like, well, I don't know how old your kids are, but I do have a podcast. And granted, I'm a little bit crude on it, but we do talk a lot of nerd geekdom shit. And he was like, sweet, man, send me the link, bro. And I was like, on it.
But yeah, we want to say, guys, thank you so much for supporting us and joining us and being a part of this and the growth of our show. We really appreciate you, and we're just constantly trying to find ways to get to our next level to make it just more better content for you guys. So, like I always say, I want to say thank you to our extraordinary listeners. We appreciate you guys from the bottom of our heart. Stay safe, stay healthy. If you can, get a little bit of running, exercise, or whatever you can. Eat healthy, take care of yourselves.
Go
I
order
heard
66 some kids with Chris, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Don't bring your kids older to me, man. I'm gonna order 66 of them, man. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, if you guys, if anybody's ever interested, I do run a mixed martial arts class in McAllen. We do kickboxing, boxing, mixed martial arts, all that good stuff. Dungeons and Dragons night, bro. That is so good. Good call.
Chris actually did used to be my trainer.
Hey.
He was one of my grappling trainers, one of my jujitsu trainers, and his practices, his teachings led me to be, you know, on the combatives team when I was in the army. So I'm just saying it works.
I teach people how to do chanclazos, man. It's what I do. But okay, with chanclas, man. Yeah, if anybody ever needs some advice when it comes to fitness, I don't mind helping out. I'm always trying to help people out. If you want to, you can also come to Bad Boys Boxing Gym in McAllen, Texas. That's where I'm an instructor. He threw you through a wall once. Yeah, I did. I threw Trigger through a wall once.
He did.
Yep, for a really cool film, which was awesome.
Which I never got to see.
There's like a trailer for it. I got to show it to you. It's just a little part, but it's good. We should go back and visit that one day. We should go back.
I would like to. That was a good memory.
Bad Boys Boxing Gym in McAllen, which is right behind the IMUS Museum, which also, if I'm not mistaken, has dollar entry right now. Guys, if you want to take your children out, or if you want to go to a really cool place to see some really cool stuff at the museum, the McAllen Museum is a great place. I know it's probably having a hard time with what's going on with society, with the whole coronavirus. If you can, you want to kind of get out and do something fun that's not too casual, that's not too crazy, the McAllen Museum has great deals for entry. Go check that out. But yeah, if you need any help with that, let me know. Guys, again, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys again next Friday here at 9 p.m. on The Average Boys, either on Facebook with us, at Twitch on my ChrisP The Average Boys channel, or on our The Average Boys YouTube channel. And also, don't forget, we are also on Spotify, Google Translate.
We also have Apple Music, don't we?
Yeah, we're on a bunch of them, man.
Yeah, dude. We have so many we can't keep track of them all, guys.
Yeah, it's so hard sometimes. But yeah, you can look us up anywhere, and we're there, and we appreciate you guys, and we hope you guys are following us. If you can, like us, if you can, share us, if you can, subscribe to us. We appreciate you guys, and yeah. Or Triggs, your Twitch account too, man.
Okay, so my Twitch account is Crolin on Twitch. I am streaming. I'm very sporadic with my streaming. I too have a very horrible sleep schedule. So sometimes I nap during the day, and when I wake up, I'm like, hey, it's a little late to stream.
Yeah, but if you can, I believe there's a way that you can set it up either by doing the bell or something that'll give you a notification when the person goes online.
Yes.
So if you have to subscribe, there is probably something else that you have to get a notification. So if you can, that would be really helpful for us. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys again next Friday here on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. We appreciate you guys. Stay safe, and we'll see you again. Laters.